I caught my ex's fiance having an affair with her maid of honor.
That's pretty bad timing.
Not very honorable. So backstory, I've known my ex, let's call him Ben, since I was a kid. He's always been very close to my family to the point that my parents are basically serving as the de facto parents of the groom. By the way, this comes from Able ALV. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So Ben and I started dating when we were 16 and broke up a year after college. It was a mutual decision. We both had a lot of emotional baggage, and it seemed like the best choice at the time. I ended up spending 18 months traveling and kind of bouncing around the world while he worked and stayed close to home. Ben met Hannah before I got back to the States, and they got engaged a few weeks after I got back.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Pre-engagement?
Ben is running it back. Pre-engagement? Yeah. Let's make it happen fast. My mom is playing a big role in the planning process. Both of my brothers are groomsmen, and I'm actually a bridesmaid.
Oh.
Chat, please answer me right now. Would you have an ex as a bridesmaid in your wedding? That's interesting. That's interesting.
If you made him do the big O, no go.
That's Riley's phrase.
Yep. That's
Riley's
my
mantra.
golden rule.
Riley's golden
I think
rule.
we made that up like you and Sam did once. You're like, if you make them do the big O and you've seen them without any clothes, that's a big no.
That sounds accurate. I think I remember. Yeah. I think I remember that.
I say
Dude,
no.
That's so funny. So Hannah wanted me as one of her bridesmaids because I'm like the groom's sister. Gag me. So actually,
already happened.
Oh God.
Done.
But it's crazy because it wasn't even Ben, the ex. It was his bride, Hannah.
Are y'all even that close?
The family's super close.
Okay,
So,
well.
and it was like 16. They got together at 16. So it's kind of like, it's giving like major family friend vibes.
Okay, well.
Like
fair.
friend family. So I see some of it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If everyone went to the same church here, I probably already seen this happen before.
All right. Yeah. Oh, can we do a poll? Ex maid of honor or not? The closer the wedding gets, the more I see of both of them. First of all, full disclosure, I still carry a little bit of a torch for Ben. It's not a huge crush, but there's definitely a little something there. We dated for like 7 years. It's not a massive swooning crush, and I don't hold any resentment towards Hannah, but there's a little tiny bit of attraction there. How little and tiny are we talking?
Oh.
This is interesting. I think you might have to recuse yourself, potentially.
You don't want to see that happening.
Yeah.
It's like watching a puppy die. Going to a wedding of your crush.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not fun. That's
no.
That's not fun.
No one wants that.
And second of all, I'm fairly sure that he still carries a little bit of a torch for me. He made a couple of comments that suggested that he regretted breaking up, even though he hasn't emotionally cheated or anything like that. It seems like he gave up on me and is ignoring any latent feelings and focusing on the present. So, moving on to the present, Hannah has 3 bridesmaids, me, a college friend, and a childhood friend. We are going to call her college friend Lucy. Lucy and Hannah are very close friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. Last weekend, my mom organized a kind of all-weekend DIY sleepover at her house. I'm imagining like the All-Stars weekend for DIY bridal shower girly activities.
What are you doing yourself at this sleepover? Oh, there it is. I just put it together. But no, wait, you're saying paint nails?
Painting nails and facials and that kind of stuff.
I thought we were flipping houses, making new tables, doing all this carpentry type stuff.
That's the HGTV version.
No interior designing?
No interior design.
Okay. And no actually doing it yourself. It's like nails and
With
hair,
nails. You're
makeup.
doing your nails yourself, doing your hair yourself.
Dude.
There you go.
Perks of having a sister, I guess. That would have went.
Basically, all of us, bridesmaid, bride, and a few others, like my boyfriend's girlfriend, we're going to spend the weekend glue gunning favors and stuffing mason jars. Okay, making cute little crafts. So the first night, I got a weird vibe from Lucy. And Lucy, again, is who?
Is the college friend. Oh, you want to do it?
Yes. Sophia, are you ready to pull up our friend Dingusbot? Dingusbot, who is Lucy in this story? Chat, Dingusbot is cooking. Not responding.
All-star, but Lucy is the college friend.
So the first night, I got a weird vibe from Lucy, Hannah's college friend, like she was upset about something. I asked my brother's girlfriend, and she noticed the same thing.
Wait, can you go back to what was the mason jar thing?
Oh, that's part of their DIYs. They're making little crafts and stuff.
Oh, for the wedding. I have a DIY shirt and I don't even know what it means half the time. Okay, I'm on track now, everyone.
We're here. So Lucy, Hannah, my brother's girlfriend, and I were supposed to be sharing a room, but my brother's girlfriend had discreetly migrated to my brother's bedroom, so it was just the three of us. It felt really tense and weird, and I heard them start snapping at each other the moment I left the room. At this point, I was curious, so when I came back, I told them I was going upstairs, but I really just waited outside. I know, but it was my house, and I'm nosy as F. So I guess she's eavesdropping now. That's where we're going.
Lovely.
The conversation was kind of muffled, but basically, Hannah said that she loved Ben, and then Lucy asked why Lucy, even bothered. And then Hannah backtracked and started talking about how she loved Lucy too, and that she didn't want to end things. Oh,
wait a minute.
Yep, we are rolling back to the title of this story.
Wait, Ben likes Lucy?
No. Hannah likes Lucy. Yup. And Hannah's saying that she loved Lucy too. They're saying they love each other. And that she didn't want to end things. But she's about to get married to OP's ex and family friend, close friend.
Just what's the woman equivalent of beard? Wig? Right?
They're each other's wig then.
Then like have the husband for the money.
Oh, you're saying the husband is the wig.
And then just have like the girlfriend always around like, oh, Lucy's coming over, we're gonna do nails. Oh. Don't come in my room. Every
time there's a DIY project, you know what's being done.
And then the DIY project is so boring that the guy always leaves to go get beers with his friends. Dude, come on.
They're gonna put the doing in doing it yourself.
And what is he gonna be mad whenever he sees you guys? He'll probably be confused. He'll be like, what? This makes no sense.
All right, this is getting dicey, y'all.
This is saucy.
This is saucy, y'all. It's getting dicey. So Lucy said that she had to make a choice, and then Hannah apologized, and it seriously sounded like there was some kind of physical affection. When I came back through the door, they weren't talking, and Hannah wouldn't look me in the eye. The next morning, the two of them had some kind of argument, and Lucy left right after. Hannah told my mom it was just something with Lucy's brother. So I told my brother's girlfriend about all of this, and she said that it made perfect sense based on their behavior over the weekend, and that she believed me, but that she didn't think anyone else would because it wasn't like I had proof and I was the groom's ex-girlfriend. Dude, okay, just to recap the dynamics going on here, OP is not only the groom's ex, but also she thinks they both have like at least a little bit of feelings for each other. So if OP goes out and says, hey, your fiance is cheating on you with Lucy, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, you would say that. You want to break them up so you can marry him.
Or there's that route. Where's Hannah trying to offload Ben to OP so she can get with Lucy?
So she brought her in as a bridesmaid to get OP closer to Ben and then have them run off.
Dude, someone's got to make a movie out of this. I'm going to write a script based off of this Reddit story.
There's so many plots that could go, and each one of them is insane.
This is a twist I would have never expected at all.
Wow. And
it's sort of like the whole movie's about like the bride trying to get OP to be with the husband. And it's like, oh my God, you guys are so fun. And it's like, why is she being this weird? And then you find out.
Wow.
Bro.
So, and there's really no polite way to ask my ex's fiance if she's cheating on him. I could try talking to Ben about it, but I highly doubt that he would believe me. I feel like I need to make sure that my ex doesn't make a massive mistake, but I feel like I don't know how to stop it. My brother's girlfriend is right. It's one of those things that doesn't sound credible if you weren't there. And there's Nedit. There seems to be virtually no consensus in this thread. Top level comments in order right now. Talk to Ben. Talk to your brother's girlfriend. Stay out of it. Anonymous note. Talk to your mom. Don't do anything. Talk to Lucy. Talk to Hannah. Okay, so the advice is literally everything. The advice is literally do nothing and do everything.
I'm going to go to the brother's girlfriend. Be like, yo, I'm going to hand this one off to you. You take it. It's like a quarterback giving it to the running back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's like, hand off. Thank you.
I have the ball, but you need to carry it home.
Yes.
I'm thinking I might actually start with Hannah. And there's an update.
So,
Honestly, that is the answer.
Sophia,
because Hannah knows.
which way would you go first? What's
I'd
the first
go
step?
the way that you'd go.
And which
Really?
way is that?
Yes, left.
All right.
Sophia, very insightful. Like
Everyone.
I'm talking about Nobel Prize winning
Thank-
thoughts right here.
Everyone
Yeah.
go left.
Everyone go left.
Yes.
Sophia Donner.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. There was a lot of different opinions about how to deal with the situation, a lot of which we just discussed. After talking it over with my brother's girlfriend, I decided to talk to Hannah, the bride,
Of course.
playing right into Riley's plot.
Oh my God.
Just in case she and Lucy, the maid of honor, had a really weird but logical explanation. True. I figured she couldn't go nuclear because my ex isn't the kind of guy to tolerate that crap, and my family would take my side if only because I'm related to them. Basically, she doesn't have enough power to shut me up. I did decide to record the convo and meet her in public just in case.
But that's what you think, OP, that she doesn't have enough power to shut you up, but she does.
it might work. It can work. I think it's possible. I'm holding out hope.
No.
So I texted her and we met yesterday after she finished work. Basically, we made a few minutes of small talk and then I pretty much just told her exactly what I heard. She calmly blew it off at first, but then she started getting really defensive and accusing me of violating her privacy, which is fair, I guess. She hasn't said that no one will believe you yet, though. She hasn't said that yet.
That's her last line before she walks away. Wait for it.
But then if she says that, she's got it on tape because
But
Opie's
then-
recording it.
Okay. And then I take the phone and throw it in the water. Gone.
I have faith.
And then
I
she
think we can
somehow
do this.
shows her phone that it's been recording and she goes, boom, gone. Oops. Who's going to believe you now?
I think we got this. I have faith. I have faith, chat.
I doubt it.
But I pushed her a little bit more and she sort of reverted back to being sweet/nice. She told me that it was a huge secret, but the truth was that Lucy was in love with her and didn't like that she was getting married, but that Hannah didn't want to lose her as a friend.
And this is where the evil villain explains the plot. Also, in the movie, I'm watching this back for myself.
Yes.
Note, Riley, in the future, put that Hannah sees the phone on the table and she pours her glass of water onto the phone and it explodes.
Ouch. Now, this sounded actually pretty plausible, and I was this close to actually believing her until I remembered the way she had told Lucy that she loved her. Lock in. Don't forget that part. I tell my friends I love them every so often, but I don't say it like she did.
Oh, I wish John would say it like she did.
I love you.
Oh, man. I felt something.
Got him. Cha-ching. So I just said that, well, you said you loved her, and then I heard you too. I kind of paused on purpose since I wasn't completely sure that the noise I heard was physical affection, and figured she would fill in the blanks. She looked completely freaked out and totally lost her very calm/sweet vibe. Then she effing started sobbing and talking about how she loved Ben and he was so nice and she hadn't meant to hurt him. We're getting her now. She kept talking about how nice he was, and I'm just kind of like, what the F is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Huh? And then she started begging me not to tell anyone, that she would break things off with Lucy and blah, 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 and find a new bridesmaid. And I told her that she had to tell Ben or I would. Also, just again, the insanity and audacity. She has the woman she's sleeping with and cheating with as her maid of honor in her wedding.
I mean, it's just easier to have her there, you know? It's like, last minute preps, boom, cheat.
This is insane. This is correct. I didn't even, the strings weren't fully connecting in my brain until just now. Wow. And then said to me, telling Ben would ruin everything, which pissed me off. So I said that she ruined everything when she decided to F her maid of honor. I'm going to take this moment right here to catch our good boy Keon up to speed.
Please.
Keon, this story is legitimately insane.
I'm writing a rom-com on for this.
Yes, Riley's literally going to write a movie off this. So basically, OP dated this guy, when she was 16 for 7 years. They broke up, stayed good friends. It was like a mutual breaking off. This guy's name is Ben. So Ben is marrying Hannah now. And turns out Hannah is not only cheating on Ben, she's cheating on Ben with her maid of honor in the wedding.
Wait. she's cheating with Ben.
No. Sorry.
Oh, Ben's
Ha-
cheating with.
No, Ben is
clean. He's a good boy.
Oh, Ben's a good boy.
Ben's
Okay.
amazing.
Yep.
Hannah, who is his bride, Hannah is sleeping with her friend / maid of honor, Lucy.
Oh.
Yes. She's her
Whoa,
maid
okay.
of honor in the wedding, and she's having a full-blown affair with her, telling her she loves her and doesn't want to end things.
Yep.
That's why she's the maid of honor. Duh. This makes sense. Guys, this makes so much sense.
I'm breaking. And then she started listing all of the stuff that they'd already planned for their wedding, and then she had the effing nerve to whine that Ben would be so devastated and we shouldn't do that to him, as if I'm partially responsible for any of this. No. She was getting more and more upset and irrational about it, so I decided to bail. I told her that she had to tell Ben that evening, or I would, and walked out the door. And then, nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
dang! I thought Hannah was gonna destroy the phone, but all right.
Nope, nothing. That's in the Riley original,
Yep.
okay?
That's where I'm gonna just start escalating.
Subscribe now for that movie, okay? I kept waiting for an uncomfortable phone call from one of them or even secondhand news from someone in my family, but absolutely nothing. So I'm sitting there wondering if Hannah is trying some kind of cover-up or is just ignoring me in hopes that I just forget. Then at 1 a.m., I get this rambling message from her that started with, "Told him everything, leave him alone." Okay. And went on for a few sentences about how she and Ben both thought that I needed to grow up and stop trying to interfere with their lives.
I told you, OP. You thought Hannah didn't have a lot of power. She does.
Hold
because
on.
it. Okay, hold on. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Tell me.
if you talk to the person, oh no, I want to stay with Ben. Are they going to tell the absolute truth, or are they going to skew it to make it look good for them?
This is true. But did she either, honestly, my guess here is she told him absolutely nothing, which is why she's like, do not talk to him about it.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, I had dinner with OP, and she basically said that she's still in love with me. And then you go check your phone, OP. Oh, I forgot to press record while listening to the conversation. That's what's going to happen, too.
So it was actually kind of hurtful, and I was feeling crappy and sort of disappointed in Ben for letting it slide, if that makes sense.
Sorry. Or Riley, make sure that like the phone ran out of storage, so whenever she plays it back, it goes up right into that point.
That's good. That's
the move. That's
it,
the move,
dude. That's
the move.
That's tight. That's tight. You gotta workshop that one with Matt.
Dude, I
That'd be
will.
fun.
Dude,
Yeah.
I really will.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I love it. So that feeling lasted until 8 a.m. the next morning when this conversation happened. Ben, hey, can I borrow your cheap object he often borrows? Niche object?
Hey, can I borrow your cheap object he borrows often?
Seriously?
What?
Why the F are you asking me for a favor right now?
What are you talking about? What the F did I do?
This is exactly when I realized that he didn't have an effing clue. So I called him and said that I needed to talk to you about something important, and he, probably reading my tone, said he could go into work a little late and meet me up for coffee. Here we go. Now, I've known Ben for a very long time. Remember, they started dating when they were 16 years old, dated for 7 years. And the minute I saw him walking towards me and looking cheerful and pleasant, I realized that she hadn't effing said a thing to him. She lied.
That's probably even more genius, because now OP is going to confess all these things, and then Ben's going to go to his wife. Hey, I heard all this stuff from OP, and she's going to be like, actually, what I need to tell you is he admitted it. So that was all a lie. This is actually brilliant.
So now she doesn't have to be the one. Like she's like, oh, he'll break up for me.
Well, not that.
Oh.
Well, that might happen too.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like OP like went behind the bride's back, said this after they what Hannah's gonna say is, I wasn't gonna like tell her this because like she's a close friend to us, but this is what she actually admitted to me.
I see.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
gonna like
She'll
twist
twist
some
it.
things.
She'll
She's gonna
twist it,
twist
yeah.
some things.
This is the secret conversation we had, not what
Yeah.
she said.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, but that's
Ooh.
crazy. That she
Right.
didn't. Oh.
Not that he's the kind of person who wears his emotions on his sleeve, but we went through some rough crap together, and I know when he's putting up a front and when he's genuinely happy. F. So I casually ask him about Hannah, and he says she's fine, and I ask if she mentioned that she and I got together yesterday afternoon. He's basically like, no, she didn't, but she was acting weird last night. What did you do? F-ity F. I tell him exactly what I heard over the weekend, and he was freaking shocked. Okay. He just sat there silently listening to me, telling him about what I had overheard and then the conversation with Hannah. When I got to the part about the text, he asked if he could see it, so obviously I showed him. He just seemed totally devastated. This is tough. I offered to send him the recording of the conversation, but he brushed that off and he was being very stoic about it, which is kind of his MO. He said that he would take care of it, and I apologized, and he told me that I hadn't done anything and this was his mess, which was unfair because it wasn't his fault, and I told him this. He then had to go to work, and I went home. By the way.
No!
I know. Keon, if you could look for an update on this.
Please, I have been edged so much this freaking day.
That's so true, actually.
Oh my God.
Who's okay? Never mind. Yeah, go ahead and let that continue your flow, John. Continue your flow.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you're tired of being edged with not enough content, boy, oh boy, do I have something that's going to goon your gophers. And that is 2,000 episodes of this show right here. Full freaking episodes. Go to Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio app, search OK Storytime. Oh, I just really hurt my knuckle on my ring. And you can find 2,000 episodes for your listening pleasure.
This is insane. The Hannah that's in my head right now is she's a mass manipulator, likes money and attention.
Yes.
And she's just using Ben for that because he has a lot of money. And she's like, dude, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Yeah, this is insane.
Because she can deny everything. Because we live in a digital age. Oh,
AI.
the voice stuff. Oh, that was AI.
That is
Don't you know
true.
she has background in that?
Well,
Oh, the text. Oh, that's all Photoshop.
hate to burst that bubble. This story's from 11 years ago. So,
I know, but if I redo the movie of it.
but come on. You can set it in the 80s.
No, I'm trying to
That's my
sell
80s
it. I'm
impression.
trying to sell it for a mill where they can they don't have to go back in the 80s.
Okay,
They can just
fine.
film
Let's do
easy.
it in the 2000s.
Not that. Okay, this is my.
Do it in the 2010s.
No, that. Anyways,
I mean, it does seem like Ben believes OP. I mean, they have a lot of trust. So I think
do.
there's no reason well, there is a reason for Ben to not believe her, but I think there's enough of a foundation of that relationship for her to trust her, which seems like he is. It seems like he's devastated and probably is going to break up with Hannah. I mean, I think this is this story ending as good as it possibly can? I think he ended up leaving at lunch because I got a text from him around 4 saying, broke things off. Sorry to get you involved. The wedding's off. As of right now, the wedding is off.
not my story.
And yours is going to be much better. And 20 minutes later, my mom called me to tell me that Ben and Hannah have called off the wedding, though she was trying to pump me for more information on the why. Who are you, Leah and Lucy and Hannah? Oh, God. Because Ben didn't seem to want to talk about what happened. Apparently, he told my brother, who's his best friend, and my brother's girlfriend, but everyone else is getting we didn't see eye to eye on everything, and it's for the best. I think Ben basically told her that if she got the F out of his life and never returned, he wouldn't tell everyone exactly why they had broken up. I mean, as far as endings could go, this is
Nice severance package.
yeah, like it's definitely not one of the worst ways it could end. Hannah's getting the F out of his life so Ben can heal and recover. I like that OP and Ben were able to, like, he trusted her, which is kind of great and speaks to the friendship that they have. And Ben got saved.
Yep, that's true.
And OP's life didn't get destroyed by people being like, why'd you pick him up? Why'd you do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
not too bad. Not too bad. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have more trauma for you in this next story.
My brother's wife is cheating on him. I don't know how to tell him.
They're cheating.
My little bro has been married to his wife for 5 years. They've been together since they were 14 and 15. The relationship has always been fairly rocky in that they fight a lot, and she has quite serious, so far undiagnosed, mental health issues, possibly bipolar, but not sure. They are in huge amounts of debt because she has crazy spending habits and basically can't afford to live because they're paying off literally dozens of loans and credit cards.
Oh.
By the way, this comes from Nymphadora85, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I am good friends with my sister-in-law. We chat a lot, she trusts me, and I try to support her in getting help for her mental health problems. But she struggles to actually get help / is convinced that she's fine as the world around her burns to the ground. She met a colleague, 24 male, at a new job just under a year ago and basically fell in love with him.
Oh.
And later turned out he fell in love with her.
Oh.
She started out saying it wasn't a problem, they could be friends and colleagues, etc. It started to get worse when they joined a gym together and basically spent every night at the gym.
It's Riley's worst nightmare.
Then she'd go back to his flat, shower, and change, and they'd hang out, and eventually she'd head home. It progressed to them spending every waking moment together while my brother works 2 jobs trying to pay back all the debts. If you saw their Facebook profiles, you'd assume they were a couple. And this is just going on and no one's stopping it?
Dude, yeah, and the guys, he's working 2 jobs to try and pay off all her debt.
He's probably not even looking at Facebook.
He has no time.
He's too busy.
Wow.
She confided in me a few months back that they'd almost had spicy sleep and she wanted to, but they didn't have protection.
Oh.
I would / should have spoken to my brother back then, but the next time I speak to her a day or so later, she says her and brother have had a big makeup, all is right with the world, new guy is history, etc. So I drop it. No.
Dang.
No.
Dang.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what OP and her brother's relationship is, but I'm not keeping, if my brother had a partner like this, I'd be like, no, I've already told him.
Yeah.
Like I told him yesterday.
Dude. Yeah, that is not tenable.
Then a few days ago, she tells me all that was a lie. Her and bro have never made up. She literally hasn't even spoken to him about it. He's just ignoring the whole situation and hoping she'll see sense and ditch the new guy. Bro told me that he trusts her. He just doesn't trust new guy. But I know that it's her that he shouldn't be trusting as she orchestrated the whole thing by her own admission. And every time new guy says they should break it off because she's married, she ropes him back in by her own admission. I asked her if they'd had spicy sleep. She said no, but they'd done other stuff. She's full cheated.
She's full cheated.
She's full cheated.
Yeah.
And she's being so blasé about it.
Right. And this also could be trickle truthing too. So it could be even more than what she's admitting to. Like
Absolutely. And the fact that OP is not divulging this information immediately to her brother is mind-boggling to me.
We got to do that ASAP.
I got the impression she was lying. Even if it were just other stuff, when I asked her what that meant, she said oral, hands, kissing. OP's like, I got the impression she was lying. Who cares? Who cares? She just admitted that they did all that.
But she's like, oh, I just did other stuff.
She's like, she still didn't go all the way, so it's not cheating.
Yeah, it's just other stuff, you know, like it's
That's
just
crazy.
it's okay.
That's crazy. I know my brother would still see that as cheating. Anyone would see that as cheating.
That is literally cheating.
Anyone with eyes would see that as cheating.
Guys.
There are other major issues apart from the cheating and debt. For example, he desperately wants a family. She does not, but will continue to tell him in a few years to keep him hanging on, even though she has said herself to me that she does not want children at all. They're at a point in life where they will need to move houses within the next 3 to 6 months. From a logistics/finance POV, if they're going to separate, it would make sense to do so before investing in a new place to live. We have space for my bro, and he's welcome. She has already said to me that she would move in with a new guy if they did separate. I love both my brother and I did love my sister-in-law. I can see that this is crushing my bro, but he's not one to confide in people or share problems. I mean, neither are you. I can see that I will lose my friendship with sister-in-law over this. Why would you want to be friends with her? But my brother comes first. Yeah, after like 6 to 10 business days,
Yeah.
I realized over the last few months that my sister-in-law is not a nice person. I'm not sure if I want to stay friends with her after all this anyway. I just have no idea how to tell him this, and even whether or not he'd believe me. I fear he will withdraw and hide away once he knows that I know about their marriage problems. I'm stuck in the middle of a situation where whatever happens, everyone's hurting, and I don't even know if I should intervene, let alone how I should. I think I should intervene, but I guess I need confirmation from you guys that it's the right thing to do before I go and bugger everything up. Edit. Sorry, I don't think my post was very clear. I only got the full picture and knew for definite she was cheating yesterday. The incident 6 to 8 weeks ago, she told me that she had confessed an emotional affair to bro. They'd made up and everything was okay. At the time, I had no reason to think she was lying about that. Also, some relevant context that I realized I should have added to explain why this is hard for me to know I'm doing the right thing and why I needed validation. I got personally blamed by my crazy, harmful mother for my parents' divorce, even though their issues began before I was born, and it literally wasn't my fault. A part of me is scared that I'm going to get accused again of breaking up a marriage for craps and giggles. Although my brother knows our mom is crazy, he's not very open with stuff, so I don't know for certain that a part of him doesn't believe I'm the cause of our parents' divorce. And even if only a little part of him does, deep down, he might think I'm just doing the same to him and his wife. I don't know. Growing up with a harmful parent throws out all of your normal when it comes to relationships, hence me needing normal people to tell me what to do. Thanks for all the advice so far. And there is another edit that is longer, so we can, and an update.
Oh.
But before we get into those, do you have any thoughts, John?
Oh, man. So many thoughts. Just to quickly address what they just said, any parents that make their child think that the divorce was the child's fault is the worst people ever.
Worst people.
That's just number one. Opie has had the misfortune of being surrounded by
Bad
not
people.
good people.
Yeah.
But back to the issue at hand. Yeah, like not only should you be talking to your brother, but it's like it seems the brother is just like, okay, yeah, I'll just like ignore it and hope it goes away. And it's like, dude, like it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
If you
He's burying his head in the sand.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like he's very, non-confrontational, and like I do get it's like this isn't his mess, and he's maybe like afraid to bring it up, and he's the victim in this scenario. But at the end of the day, like it's all just gonna be worse.
It's all there.
I don't know.
You're just putting a rug over poop.
Yeah, and that's stinky.
Yeah.
Super
and it's just
stinky.
going to make your house smell terrible.
Yeah.
But let's get into this edit.
Ooh.
Edit 2, just want to add some further clarification as I'm getting a lot of comments misunderstanding when I knew information from. My fault, not commenters. The timeline is confusing. 2 months ago, sister-in-law and I were talking and she told me the extent of her and new guy's emotional affair. This came up because bro had found text messages between them telling each other they loved each other. Apologies for missing this fact as it's important to the timeline. So we knew about this before I did. A day later, I asked her what's happening because I spent the night before telling her she and bro should separate if this is not what they want, etc. And she, to an extent, agreed. But then she told me her and bro had had a big heart-to-heart, had made up, and when I asked about new guy, she said he was not a problem. So I took that to mean she dumped him. And at the time, I had no reason to think she was lying. I mentioned this in a comment, but not in the original post, as I didn't feel it was relevant. But now I think it explains why I didn't take any further action right then. I was massively preoccupied with losing, a pregnancy. 2, now 3 days ago, I had massive conversations with her that started about her health issues. She told me then that all the crazy spending was part of her issues and it was a lot worse than they'd ever made out. Before, they both said it was just because of an educational private loan for a master's and that she was doing it on purpose. I had no idea of this before 2 days ago. She also divulged all the info about new guy, and when I asked about her and bro making up 2 months ago, she admitted she lied and she hadn't even spoken to him since then. 24 hours ago, I saw both of them together, and something my brother said assured me that she was not lying about what she told me, and she was really cheating. I also realized that she'd been using me as another risk take and playing games with me. I am pissed. I am not on her side. I am 100% with my brother. I have every intention of telling him. I've arranged to see him today. I just needed advice on how to tell him, which I have got, so thanks. And there is an update.
Whoa.
So I've spoken to my brother. I was literally so nervous I felt sick, but it actually was a lot more okay than I expected. He'd guessed something was up. I was worried about her being there, so I told him I needed help with my car. He immediately apologized for basically kidnapping him under false pretenses and told him everything I knew. Sister-in-law had already told him that she'd lied to me to see if I would betray her and tell him. She's like, I tested you and you failed. He saw through that and knew she was lying. He didn't know the full extent of their affair, so I told him everything she'd told me, plus the additional info about her not wanting children and the debt stuff. He didn't know that she didn't want children and was understandably hurt.
Oh,
By the way, I'd be hurt if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this.
so hurt.
Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But let's finish this off.
Go.
He's going to have a talk with her and see what she says. He said if she tells the truth about everything and ends it with a new guy, he could possibly see forgiving her and moving on.
Oh,
I told him I thought that was a mistake. It's true. Due to the children and debts and the fact that she won't accept help / take medication for her mental health issues means that even without the affair, his future with her is, in my opinion, bleak and miserable. I've told him that I'm there for him 100% and he has a room at our house from whenever he needs it, even if it's at 3 a.m. or very short notice, it doesn't matter. I told him that for the meantime, I will not have any involvement with sister-in-law and that there's no way I can ever be friends with her ever again, even if they do magically fix things and live happily ever after. Good on you, OP. I'm proud of
Yes.
you. He understood and agreed that she was a crap person. Now, all I can do is wait and hope that he leaves her and moved on to have a happy, healthy life. Thanks, everyone. And there is a third edit,
oh,
I think, to really finish us off.
the epilogue.
I, my husband, and older brother have all been blocked on Facebook. Crap's going down.
By the
By the sister-in-law, I believe.
Great. Thanks for doing
Honestly,
that for us.
yeah.
Thank-
Made it
like-
easier. Didn't have to look you up.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, I'm just hoping that the brother bites the bullet and divorces her.
I am praying because I guess back to the whole thing of like, oh, they met when they were like 14, 15.
Yeah.
It's like that's all you know, and
all
I
you
could
know.
see the brother kind of just getting in this, the warped reality field and being like, oh, well, it's like
There's nothing else.
There's nothing
Yeah.
else, and like we've known each other like our whole like adolescent to adult lives. Like, oh, I'll just stick it out and hope for the best. But
Yeah.
it seems like he is, although we've teetered on the edge. It does seem like ultimately he's going to land on the side of not being with her.
I am hoping. I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed, ladies and
Fingers
gentlemen.
crossed. But proud of OP
Yes.
for sticking to her thoughts and saying, I don't want to ever see that sister-in-law in my
Mhm.
town again.
She had her thoughts,
She
and
stuck
she
to 'em.
stuck to him.
My wife decided to test me. It sent our marriage in a downward spiral. No, here we go. This is me going down a spiral. No. Trigger warning for verbal. So if that's not something that you can listen to right now, skip ahead to the next story. Background, I'm 30 male and she's 30. We've been married for 1 year and 8 months, but lived together for 5 years before getting married, no kids. By the way, this comes from I Sell Puts. And if you want to spin your own story, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, we have been fighting since the day we got married because she got into an altercation with my family, my mom, and supposedly I did the wrong thing and sided with my family. Okay, I know that in-laws and this sort of thing can definitely get sticky in a marriage, but I tried to work through it. I don't believe my character and intentions are bad. I've supported her and provided everything in the world for my wife. I do not hate her or abuse her in any way. To be fair, there have been fights we have had a year ago regarding my family where I did say mean things to her, but since then I have corrected myself and refrained from using bad words and hurtful comments. She, on the other hand, still cusses me out, uses effing this and effing that, and makes demeaning comments towards me. You guys don't seem to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's not sounding good to me.
I made her apologize to my family for acting disrespectfully towards them, which she did, reluctantly, but nevertheless, she did. At the time, a year ago, I told her that if she could not get along with my family, we couldn't be married. So I guess it was an ultimatum. I'm very close to my parents, and right now they're getting old and really need my help the most. I'm not going to put them in a home ever. They've done so much for me and raised me, went through ups and downs with me, bailed me out of several sticky situations, and I cannot thank them enough. So it is very important for my wife to get along with my family because I do spend the weekends with them. In return for the apology, apology my wife made to my parents. I promised my wife that I would ignore and disregard anything negative she says or does to me. These were her terms. Basically, act normal even when she's upset and bringing down the world on my shoulders. Since last October, we've been fighting a great deal about this said promise. Every fight we've had since then, she says that I broke the promise and I'm a liar. It usually goes like this. She cusses me out, says really mean stuff, hurtful things, and not being able to take all the verbal. I end up making a sarcastic or passive-aggressive remark. Basically, she wants to yell at me like I'm a piece of trash, and I sit there and take it and shut the F up. Well, since January 15th, we haven't been fighting much because she was basically yelling at me, and I decided to shut the F up. So things were going okay. Oh, P, if you're just not talking while she's yelling at you, that doesn't mean things are okay.
Oh no.
By the way, she starts getting angry at me when I do little things wrong to make her mad. They are insignificant to me, like coming home at 3:30 instead of 3, or forgetting to fill the dog bowl, or serving her cold fruit when she has told me repeatedly she likes it at room temperature. Are you her maid?
Are you
her butler?
Are you Goldilocks, perhaps?
Yeah, is she Goldilocks?
Is she Goldilocks?
Or putting too much cream cheese on her bagel and making it look sloppy.
Cast him into the fire.
This woman.
I mean, just little things, nothing like cheating or lying. She says each and every consecutive time I break my promise to her, she'll get worse and worse. It will take longer and longer for her to get over.
Oh, no.
She does not let things go easily. I can be mad today, and 20 minutes later, I'm fine and happy again. She cannot do this. She also says she will be testing me the more I break these promises, and she needs to test me to make sure that this final promise I made to her is for real. The punner, well, she tested me 2 days ago, and I failed miserably. She was on her period, so I understand she was moody. Okay. She was nagging me all day long about little things and such, and I just simply apologized and admitted fault. At night, I hand squeezed her a glass of orange juice, which I left at room temp before squeezing, and said, "Baby, do you want some OJ?" She got furious at my question and sharply responded, "When do I ever refuse OJ?" You normally just give it to me. In this case, you can drink it yourself. Wait, she got mad at you because you asked her if she wanted OJ?
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's in these kinds of stories that I have to remind myself that I am not in this situation.
Yeah.
It's not worth the blood pressure.
No.
I would classify this person as maybe a little uppity.
She can't use the excuse, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on my period." Well, actually, I don't think she's saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think she's saying I'm on my period. She can't use that when she doesn't change at all, regardless of whether she's on or off it.
Yeah.
It's just you at that point.
That's also
It's also not an excuse.
exactly like it's just an explanation.
It's explanation.
So,
You say, "Hey, sorry, I was, mean.
I was mean. I'm sorry. I
my
shouldn't
stomach
have
was
said
dying."
that.
Yeah. She's not doing that. She's just like, yeah,
She's just like, I can't believe
this is who I am.
you can't read my mind. That's crazy.
Yikes.
You should be severely punished for not being able to read my
Yeah.
mind.
The
That's
only
her.
reason why I asked her this time was because she refused to eat those specific oranges because they were sour. So obviously I asked her because what if she didn't want to drink sour juice? OP, please leave. You cannot possibly think that you are in the wrong for asking her if she wants to drink some orange juice that you freshly squeezed for her.
I feel tingly. I feel I have no power in this situation. I need to grab a hold of something.
You need some Tai Chi.
Like maybe a good orange, give it a nice
Maybe
squeeze.
a good
Yeah.
orange.
You need a
Maybe
fresh
a good
squeeze,
guys.
orange that
Orange
looks like this woman.
You need to remember, guys, the title said downward spiral.
Downward
This
spiral.
is a downward
Oh, we
spiral
are
This
story.
also
Spiraling.
happened 13 years
13
ago.
years ago. It's got to
So
get better, folks.
It's gotta be better.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, maybe they put a lot of money in crypto. Maybe this person's got like 100 billion
all right.
Yeah, they're
totally
rich
real
now.
dollars right now.
They're rich now, exactly.
Knowing she was in a pissy mood, I did not let the comment faze me. Instead, we proceeded to play with the dogs. And about 5 minutes later, I said, "Baby, are you going to drink your juice?" Well, she responded by picking up the glass and dumping the contents into the sink down the drain. 6 whole hand-squeezed oranges. It may just be OJ and a small thing, but it hurt me really bad when she did that.
Yeah, not a small thing. That's a very big thing that she just did.
I
sure.
was furious at that, and it kind of pushed me over the cliff. I responded in a soft tone, "You did not have to do that, and you're a terrible person."
Good.
I'm just imagining how being. You didn't have to do that, and you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
She's not gonna like that. Well, that blew her up, and she cussed me out and cursed me and said she was right.
Of course.
She knew I couldn't keep my promise and that I failed her again. Divorce. My wife intentionally tested me and kept driving me over the cliff and set me up to fail. I feel that she's abusing me this way and making me look like I'm just a compulsive liar and cannot honor a single promise when she has already lived up to her end by apologizing and getting along with my family. Well, we haven't spoken for 2 days, and when we did, it was her screaming at me. I feel like every day is a walk on eggshells, or I'm walking in a minefield, not knowing when or where I step, and it's going to explode in my face. When the times are good, they're really good, but they never last for more than a few days. My wife acknowledges her anger and says it would only get better over time, and only if I stick to my promise. But there are some comments, so we're gonna get into those.
All right.
Comment 1, it's pretty obvious to me that she doesn't want to be with you and is just trying to make the separation look like it's your fault so she isn't to blame. Comment 2, congratulations. Might seem insensitive, and I'm sure you love her on some level, but seriously, this is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with? I'm thinking good riddance. Your wife sounds like a horrible, petty, selfish, pretentious witch who was intentionally mean to you. Let her go wallow in her anger. No need for you to be tied to an unreasonable person. Hit the gym and find someone who will treat you right. Protect your assets, see a lawyer, and change the locks and clean out your bank account.
Yes.
A reply says, no kids. It's like a get out jail free card. Yay. Congratulations, my friend. And there is an update. But any thoughts before we jump in?
Yeah, these people, there's nothing that you can do when they put these pressures on you of like, oh, this is all your fault. You just have to be better for me to be better. It's like, well, what the heck? How does that work? Because no, it's just, they just don't know how to deal with their own emotions, and they just put everything on everyone else, and nothing will be good enough. No matter how much you change about yourself, they will always find something new because it's about their emotions that they can't regulate.
I mean, just the fact that she made you asking her if she wanted orange juice a problem.
Yes.
Wednesday night. After posting my original story here, my wife came home that night and handed me all the divorce documents, signed, dated, everything.
Good.
Neither of us had moved out of the house yet, so basically I am sleeping downstairs on the couch.
All right, but it's the party couch now.
Yeah.
Woo. Divorce.
I understand that you're sad, but I'm so happy for you.
So happy for you.
I was a bit shell-shocked when she actually signed the papers, but okay, whatever. She said she was going to file them first thing in the morning, so I said fine. While I was resting on the couch, she started texting me from upstairs. She was telling me how it was my fault for us getting to where we are, and basically everything that I did was wrong. That's not true. I tried not to say too much for fear of setting her off, but then she started comparing my love for her to my love for my family. I told her that I loved her and my family equally, and as you are both my family. But love for a wife is different than love for parents, just a different type of love, in my opinion. She didn't accept that answer, texted me another couple of paragraphs, and then stormed out of the house and did not return till after midnight.
Was she texting you from inside the house? She was like, let me just hit send really quick and then I'll slam the door. Like, what?
Wait, I don't know what she's doing.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Inside the house.
Thursday afternoon and night, in the morning, I asked her if she was going to file, because if not, I would. She responded, unlike you, I actually do what I say. Okay, enough said. I came home from work and saw her car in the garage earlier than usual. I was scared to go upstairs in my home office because of what I knew would be waiting there for me on my desk. I couldn't face it, seeing the actual stamped and filed copy, so I stayed downstairs on my couch and just stared at the ceiling. My wife started to text me again from upstairs. It started out with, just know that I still love you. I responded, I don't believe it. Simply because I feel that if she truly loved me, I would not have been put through all this verb and such. I did express that to her in another reply text, and of course her response was, if you loved me, you wouldn't have made me apologize to your family against my will. So basically, circles. Each party thinks they have the right and valid argument.
Of course.
Not wanting to piss her off even more because she warned me and said, you don't want me to get hostile with you, do you?
What?
Who is this?
She literally looked at him and said, "Why AITA?
I don't
Why
want to get
AITA?"
hostile with ya.
She hit one of these.
Yeah, I would hit one of those. I'll
But
hit
I
one of those
can't.
with her
Thank
right
you.
now.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah.
13 years later, I'll do it. I'll still do it.
I said, okay, no more replies. I'll shut the F up. Then she started to text me, let's just be happy for our last days together.
Oh, shut up. Sorry.
Girl.
Oh. Because that's the thing. There's no one's going to stay in this relationship if it's only these bad things. They stay because of these little blips of good things.
Then she started to text me, let's just be happy for our last days together. In
Ugh.
addition to that, she was texting me about how it's fine. She's okay with that. It's better for the both of us. We'll get over it soon.
Oh my God.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Indeed.
A few moments later, she came downstairs to find me on the couch. She brought me a snack and a drink, and we went outside to have a chat. She was super nice and super sweet, saying stuff like, let's just be happy. She was smiling and grinning, not sure if it was fake. She says, I know you have a bad back and it must hurt sleeping on the couch. You can come upstairs and sleep on the bed and we can watch our favorite shows together. Basically inviting me to sleep in our room. Dude, she's going to turn you into a vampire. Don't go in there.
Yeah. Literally.
I declined and told her as much as I would like to, it would only make things harder for me because at the end of the day, it's not gonna mean anything. She told me she would be out by the end of the week. The house is owned by my family trust, so there will be no division of property here, and I cannot be the one to move out. I told her, just take your time to get your situations straightened out. I will buy another bed and sleep on it temporarily. She went back upstairs and I went back on my couch. She texted me again telling me how I did not deliver on my part, but she did. After the apology, it took about 12 months to regain back trust in my family, but she did not have to do anything. She just had to show up with me and just chat, say hi, or simple social stuff. So she used this against me to say that she did her part and I didn't. So the divorce was basically a result of my actions, and her anger was a result of my lack of communication skills over and over. That's not true.
I want to break things.
That's not
I
true.
want to grab things and break them over other things.
She
with this
did
woman.
finally admit some fault, though. She said it was her fault for not walking out at the time I said she had to apologize to my family. She said she should have left me back then, but because she loved me so much, she did it anyway. I feel that she did it, but resented the fact that she did it and has been making me pay for it ever since. She said it was typical of me to think negatively of her like that. She then came back downstairs, sat with me on the couch. I started to tell her again that I don't believe she loved me, ever. I told her she was just in love with being in love. I told her how her anger issues got me to where I am. I told her I felt mistreated and that I read about it and what it is. She said, of course, if I'm looking for it, I'll see it that way and see her in a negative light.
See? I have so many thoughts inside my brain right now. And now an axolotl on my nose. Thank you to whoever sent this.
Lord.
This woman.
I told her she needed to take responsibility for her anger and stop blaming it on me and holding that resentment inside, letting it turn bitter. She said her anger came from me, so it was circles again.
See? It's never her fault. It's never going to be her fault. It's
Never
always
gonna be
someone
her
else's fault.
By the way, this was the first time we ever sat down and just talked without her screaming at me, calling me names and getting worked up. I told her I couldn't live in fear anymore and worry about her moods on a daily basis.
Yes.
I told her it was my fault for not bridging the gap correctly between my family and spouse. I told her I assumed she saw my folks the way I did through my eyes, but made the wrong assumption and did not work the communication correctly between the two parties. I did say, even though I made a mistake, I am human, and I wish to take the steps to correct it and do better. I said I wanted to learn how to bridge the gap properly, but she never gave me a chance to do it. It was like this for me every time I wanted to speak to her about my family or teach her something. She was in a good mood. I was scared that by me bringing up my family, that good mood would turn into a bad mood. So I would only bring up issues during our fights, which now I know is never a good thing because she wasn't listening anymore. In addition, her screaming scares me and makes me nervous, and I end up spurting out bits and pieces of what I really want to say, and it comes out all wrong and not really what I meant to say. She told me, why didn't you tell me all these things before? I said, because I couldn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Your yelling and constant berating of OP didn't really offer a safe space for him to bring his, problems to you.
That's the stupidest thing to get mad about.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you tell me these problems earlier?
Yeah.
in any situation, like it happens in situations that aren't as big as this one too, and it's just like, why are you mad about that? Bring it up now. We're talking about it
now.
Come on.
I said because I couldn't, because I was scared your mood would change. When she's in a good mood, I try to enjoy it as long as I can because they never last. So for me to bring up an issue is like asking for it. She said had she known that this was what I was trying to do, learn how to bridge the gap, then she would have taken a different approach with me this whole time. And again, she's blaming you. She's saying, oh, well, if you had just done this, I would have been better. Oh, if you had just done this, maybe I wouldn't have gotten mad at you. But I told her this is all too late. I was late in telling her because of that, it's too late. So she said it was my fault, this divorce, for miscommunication. I told her I want to learn, but I need time and patience from you, which I felt I didn't get at the time. Again, this was the first time in almost 4 years that we sat down and just talked and tried to understand each other. It had to be after the divorce was filed. I bawled as I was talking because I just couldn't hold it in. I felt that I was cheated and viewed as someone that I am not. What hurts me and disappoints me the most is that my wife was not able to look past these communication issues and see the true person that I am. She could not see how much I really love her. I have done everything in my power above and beyond to try to give her happiness. And I feel if she loved me, she would step up and do something positive to keep us together. She finally admitted it and said we both made mistakes. But what I wanted her to say was that she was wrong and sorry for treating me badly and to admit that her anger came from within. The thing is, even if you did both make mistakes, you didn't apologize for the mistakes that you made. You still haven't apologized.
No, not at all. And with people like this, you're never going to get an apology either. So
she's going to find a way to twist your words.
Yeah, there's no use in asking for one or waiting for one or anything at all.
Yeah. I wanted to hear her say she wanted to work on her anger and such. I owned up to my mistakes from the outset, but she still feels her actions were a result of my lack of communication. It hurts really bad right now because I do really love her and I have given her everything. It would have been easier if she screamed at me and stormed out. Now that she's being very nice and sweet, it is just reminding me of the good days that we have. So that's the trick.
That's the cycle.
That's the cycle. They trick you.
They know what they're doing, all these people. They know what they're doing.
Comments. Comment 1, she only wants you now that you're slipping away from her control. Stick to your pew-pews, be strong. Comment 2, stop right there. Seriously, do not believe a single word that comes out of her mouth. If she was that remorseful, she still wouldn't be blaming you. In fact, it's smart because she's taking a new direction with her manipulation and leaking out a tiny bit of responsibility on her part, but still getting you to admit fault. And once you admit fault, you're back to being in her clutches. See the pattern here? And it's working, isn't it? I reiterate my advice from you from first thread. Pack your bags and sleep at another person's house until she is physically out of the house. You're wounded and still love her, and she knows it and can smell blood. This is you at your very most vulnerable, and you're still running to her. This is why she has power over you. She's buttering you up and getting you to trust her, and all she has to do is seduce you to get you to take her back, which I promise she's gonna do. Dude, it's been 2 days since you posted this. Where's your resolve from this? You're letting her leak it away from you the longer you're in her presence. Get out of that house and sleep somewhere else. What do you think is going to happen once you admit fault once again and take her back? I don't like manipulative people. I've seen all the tactics and counseled through all of them. I can't claim a single manipulative person as a friend because they sicken me, the same as your wife. It's a cruel game to play with someone's emotions, and that's why I'm taking interest in your story. Your wife hasn't changed magically overnight. Realize this and seek support in family and friends. And for the 3rd time, get out and sleep somewhere else. And there is a second update.
Oh, wow. The epic saga continues.
But what are you thinking?
I'm glad that she brought up divorce because I don't think he would have been able to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously in these situations, we notice it is hard to bring yourself out of that. So I'm glad she at least started that cycle and that he is knowing, like, you know, it's gonna be harder for me if I go to bed with you. Like I'm gonna sit on the couch. I'm so glad that he's doing that for himself.
I'm really proud of this guy because it's not easy to get out of these situations.
Oh no!
And he's been in it for a while.
Oh yeah,
you know.
I mean, if he's married to her,
thinking that he's the one in the wrong.
Yes, and that is not a good way to live at all.
No,
at all.
But yeah, no, dude, stick to your pew-pews, as you said.
Yep.
Update 2. The epic saga continues. I know I will be flamed for posting this, and I seriously do not know why I am, but I just need some input. Maybe I do have a high tolerance for pain, but by no means do I like it or get off by it. I have no friends, no coworkers, and I do not want my family involved because I cannot give them this kind of stress. I have read all the previous posts and I should have moved into a hotel, but since I do work out of my home and there is a great deal of equipment and sensitive information here, I cannot leave my house. Since my last post, I've been still living in my house and my wife hasn't really moved out yet. She's only taken half of her belongings into a storage facility down the street from my house. Despite everyone's previous comments and efforts to get away and not communicate with the wife, I failed. I was busy for the most part of the week, but we somehow managed to talk. We were talking about how to improve ourselves in our future relationship and somehow got to the topic of how this all started between us. What caused the spark that caused the fire? Here it is. I don't believe this is the truth.
Okay.
I don't think this is true, but we're going to read it.
This is how they met and how they like kind of got together?
Well, this is what caused the problems.
Oh, what caused the problems? Okay. Gotcha.
We met 7 years ago. Me and my little brother lived together in the same house. He was 21 at the time. Brother and I went to school together and bought this house together and had our own business together. Later, I bought him out of the house, but that is beside the point. Met my wife and she moved in. My wife only met my parents a few times after 1 year together. New love for me, butterflies, distracted from business. Brother was pissed at me for neglecting our business. Instead of working my normal hours, I worked odd hours to make up for it. Brother took out anger on my wife by giving the cold shoulder when crossing paths at home, slamming doors, bombastically acting immature, but never really made any mean or harsh direct comments to my wife. Passive aggression, you could say. Wife took notice, got angry at my brother because she initially did nothing wrong to him. First, wife told me I got mad at brother and me and brother fought. Business was getting busier, brother and I fought more frequently. I quit the business and wife and I moved out of town. Business relationship severed and brotherly relationship as well. Moved out of town for 2 years and I did not speak to my brother or parents often. Brother was angry and spoke negatively about my wife to my parents. Parents got a bad impression of my wife from my brother before they got to know who she really is. After returning back home from moving out of town, brother and I mended our relationship and parents wanted to get to know my wife, but had a bad impression of her. Parents did not do anything to my wife, they just wanted to get to know her. They asked her questions. English was not their first language, so it came off as offensive and interrogating like to my wife.
I don't think that's because of the language barrier, my guy. I think that's because of her and her lack of understanding of her bad control on her emotions.
Yeah, she stinks.
Yeah, stinks like
wife,
poo.
Yep. And poetry. No. Okay. Wife got pissed, never wanted to see my parents again, and didn't for at least 2 years. Our relationship carried on. I ignored and respected her wishes to not be around my family. 6 months before our marriage in 2010, wife started to come around to family events. I was happy. Thought she changed. All I wanted, by the way, was for her to just get along with my folks. And it appeared she was getting along with everyone. I married her. Big mistake.
Yep, it's okay.
A week after marriage, May 2010, wife fought with parents. Got mad that I defended parents' actions and did not support her. In my eyes, I felt that my wife should not have walked off and stormed off on my parents when they were talking to her. I also told my parents that they should have been more constructive in what they said to my wife. But I could not say this in front of my wife because it is great disrespect in our culture to reprimand adults in front of a spouse. I told wife she had to apologize or make things right with my parents or we would not be together. 1 month later, wife apologizes to my parents but tells them, I'm sorry, I really don't know what I'm apologizing for. So she didn't apologize.
Yeah. She's like, I said the word apologize.
She said, yeah, the word apology was in my sentence.
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
The criteria was met. Everything's fine.
Parents got mad, felt that that was not a real apology.
Yeah.
Rightly so. And wife stormed out on my parents again for the second time. Wife and I fight over this because I felt that she again disrespected my parents. I told wife, parents should not have said this to you and you should not have walked out. I felt deep down in my heart and still do today that both parties did something wrong and did not communicate right. Wife says it's my fault for not bridging the gap properly and communicating with both parties. Fast forward to June 2011. Wife calls my parents without me knowing about a year after the initial blow up, goes with me to my parents' house and apologizes again. apology was accepted. Since then, wife has been gradually coming to family events, but still rarer than what is normal. Parents are totally cool with my wife. They bought her gifts, took her to dinner, and tried to socialize with her. Parents are not mad at my wife and don't have any issues with her ever since the real apology back in 2011. Ever since then, I thought we dropped the whole thing and finally put it behind us, but it became more and more clear that my wife was resenting me for the real apology she made to my family. We would be fighting about what to eat for dinner, and she would somehow navigate the argument to my relatives and how she did this and that for me and I couldn't do jack. Around October, we had another monstrous fight. This was when I posted the last one. I ended up apologizing to her. I came to understand that I should not have forced her to apologize against her will, and that I was not supportive as a husband when she fought with my family.
No.
You're understanding the wrong things.
No.
Stop understanding those
You're
things.
falling
Stop.
for it. Ah,
Stop.
I want to find OP and give him a big ol' hug.
Stop. Thinking back, okay, I probably could have done some things differently. So I tried to be the bigger person and gave in again. I bought her a bouquet of long stem roses and wrote an apology letter and attached it to the roses. She threw my roses in the dumpster and tore up my apology letter without reading it first. Okay, I forgave her for that. Stop forgiving her.
Don't do that. That's not a forgivable thing.
No.
Opie's like, yeah, it's okay. We got over it because I forgave her. She didn't apologize, of course.
Yeah, no.
And she's just over here brainstorming, like, what do I have to do to get this guy to actually hate me?
Yeah.
Wife says none of those apologies are genuine because I keep breaking our promises.
Ah! Just had to let that out really quick. Don't mind me.
Now that we know what the spark was that caused the fire, I spoke to my bro who openly admitted saying bad things about my wife to my parents, but he also said he was immature at that time, being 21. Wife tells me I cannot blame her for how she acted towards me. The mean and demeaning comments, cussing, anger, resentment, all that. She states that she was merely reacting after a situation that snowballed inside of her over the years and finally blew up. She says it was my fault. Of course it's OP's fault. For not being supportive and not owning up to the whole thing as my fault, me and my family, as the cause of all of our pain and suffering. I feel that while what I did was wrong, that is to force her to get along with my family, I made a mistake, which I expressed to her time and time and again. I should not have done it. Wife feels that since she carried her part of the deal and I have not kept my promise to take her crap, I am the one who is a hypocrite and the one who is her. I feel that wife is bitter and not wanting to forgive and forget. I told my wife several times that it's my fault for the cause of all of this. Stop! But I also told her that she should not have treated me with zero respect or as a doormat. She says while she knows that was wrong of her, she cannot be blamed for treating me that way because it was merely a human reaction to something she did not start or cause or add any fault in. She's perfect.
I'm gonna do crimes. I'm gonna turn to a life of crime now because of this woman. I'm turning to a life of crime. Me and my little axolotl on my nose. We're going to do crime together. Bye, guys. Bye. I'm going to do crime now. Bye. Good
Wow.
Very justified crash out,
delusional.
honestly.
Delusional.
Look, it's like, I don't know. This is a great disclaimer for like, or not disclaimer, what is it? No, that's a PSA for like, just having like self-respect.
Yeah.
This is, if this guy had just a little bit of like, hey, like I actually
Shred.
deserve more than this.
Sure.
He'd be able to,
Yeah.
But the thing is,
this
let
woman,
this affect him properly.
yeah, no, but this woman, she keeps, that's what they do though. That's what they do.
That's-
They,
Cycle of
again,
abuse.
with the emotion, they know they can tell when people are starting to pull away and then they
give you
reel
amazing
them back in.
days. They go,
Yep.
oh, it's
Yep.
perfect.
And
I
especially-
love you.
Yeah, especially since he's like, she's not only telling him that like everything that, she has a problem with is his fault. She's also telling him that everything that he has a problem with
Yes.
is also his fault
Yes.
because she wouldn't be acting that way if he acted this way. And it's
Exactly.
like, well, shut up. What about that? Huh? What if you just shut your freaking mouth? What about that?
Yeah, and then no one's got a problem with anything.
Yeah, because you don't want to leave somewhere if you think that you're the problem. Because you
Yeah.
want to leave because you're mad, but you can't be mad if you think you're the problem. So
Exactly.
that's the cycle.
By the way, we've got a cycle of full episodes for you with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
All right.
There's a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are as follows.
Yes.
Ah!
It's a very concise final thought.
I just love that you
Right?
screamed and then Sophia yawned right back to back.
Yeah, that's my final thought. No, my final thought is get out of this situation.
Yep.
Leave her behind. Do not talk to her because she is manipulative, gaslighting.
Exactly. We accept the love that we think we deserve from
Yeah, he
Bubbles
thinks
Marie.
he
It's still the
deserves
best line
this.
ever.
Absolutely. He's been told that
Exactly.
he's made all these mistakes, so now he thinks that he deserves
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. And it's, yeah. Ugh.
So now you know the whole story. This pretty much sums it up in a nutshell. I'm trying to write only the facts because a part of me feels that I should do better in terms of handling her and my family. Although my family has nothing against her at the moment. She made me feel guilty for the past and did quite well at it too. I've been telling her the past is the past and we should move on. But she said she cannot forgive me until I genuinely accept all responsibility and act genuinely sorry for everything.
You can't, not until you say I'm the Queen of France and you really mean it. not until then.
Exactly.
Comment 1, why do you ask for advice and then ignore all of it? Comment 2, oh man, you're not going to fix this. You aren't. If you keep doing what you're doing, obsessing over every wrong turn in the course of your relationship, you're going to do yourself harm. Keep in mind that you don't have to hate her or yourself or make a decision about who was at fault. All that matters is that you two were not healthy for each other. Exactly. Let's forget about fault. Let's remove it from the equation. You two don't work. That's all that matters. You two do not work as a couple.
That is true. That is true.
And go to therapy.
Yes, please.
That's it. You can't be together because you're not good for each other. It's natural for it to be hard to avoid contact with your someone who has been such a central part of your life. Don't beat yourself up if you slip. This is a nasty situation and one that would be emotionally chaotic and draining for anyone. I hope you reconsider your decision to keep this from your family. You need support. And that, folks, is the end of that story.
God,
But,
finally.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
I need support after I
Wow.
read that.
We made it to
Honestly.
the bottom of the downward spiral.
My fiance demands a 50-50 split, so I told him to downgrade his lifestyle.
I told him, get over here. I'm going to cut you in half with a sword. You want a 50-50 split? Come on.
Am I the a-hole for telling my fiance that if he expects me to contribute 50-50, we have to make some serious lifestyle changes? My 26 female, fiance 26 male, sat me down yesterday and gave me a long talk about how it feels like I don't contribute a lot to the household, particularly in the financial sense. I was a bit caught off guard by this, but was willing to hear him out since he wasn't wrong. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Downsizing, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, he makes a lot more than I do, and we've always split bills accordingly, which ends up being about 80% him. I asked what he wanted me to pay now, and he was adamant about it being 50-50. I asked if everything was okay with his job or if he needed to take fewer hours. He wouldn't answer me. I honestly wouldn't have gotten upset if there seemed like an actual reason behind it, but he just said he'd been thinking about it a lot over and over every time I asked what brought him to this conclusion, what was going on. And eventually he just said, "That's how it's going to be. Take it or leave it." Those exact words in response to literally everything I said. Full shutdown, no explanations. I told him that was fine, I'll take it. And then asked if he'd made a Zillow account yet or expected me to. He looked confused and asked, why would we need a Zillow account? I explained that there's no way I can afford half rent on our current place, so we'll probably have to move into a one-bedroom apartment. He got mad and asked why I didn't have savings. I told him that I do, but I'm not paying rent out of my savings because that's a terrible and unsustainable idea.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. I also began to go over what our new food budget would be, our new entertainment budget, and that we'd probably have to sell the cars and get one less expensive one because I can't afford half of the payments on an Audi and a Land Rover. Then I explained that date nights would probably have to be reduced too, and we could still do like Buffalo Wild Wings or something, but I preferred Thursday nights because you get 2 orders of boneless wings for one. Basically, if he wants me to pay half, we're living with my means, not his anymore. He kind of agreed to it, but since then he's been incredibly angry.
Bruh, you tripping.
He's not saying or doing anything, but it's like he's walking around the house in this cloud of pissed off. I've sent him 6 Zillow listings, all of which he called uninhabitable for various reasons, some of which I think were valid, others I disagree with. He's now saying that I'm being unfair and manipulative, and that he tried to come to me with a serious concern about our relationship, and I'm making it impossible for him to talk to me. I'm bulldozing over him. Am I the a-hole?
Brother, you bulldozed.
Relevant comments. Not the a-hole at all. And you are making perfect sense in my mind. If he wants 50-50, he needs to understand that your income is the limiting agent in this reaction. It does sound like he has something else going on, and I would mentally prepare for him to call the wedding off. I forgot they were getting married.
Ooh, yeah, wait, that's another layer.
Yeah, he's like, we're about to get
Yeah.
married and you need to
Should
chip
be
in.
a thing that he knows. He's like, I know you can't do this, so I'm gonna say this needs to be done.
Oh, like he's trying to get out of it.
Yeah, it's like people will do that if they're like, I can't be the one to end it, so it has to be something outside of me
Yeah.
that does it.
This sounds like he is coming up with reasons to get rid of you in his mind, but he does not want to come off as the bad guy.
Duh.
Centurion Holder says, making up jobs and numbers, you make $120K as an engineer. I make $30K in retail. I am fine living a life where we spend the same amount, but I literally cannot keep up because I'd have to pull tens of thousands of dollars out of thin air. The only option to make this work is if we live like we both make $30K. Not the a-hole. The only options to give him what he wanted was spend less or drain savings and enter credit card debt. And there is an update. But yeah, he's expecting money that you don't have. So it's just impossible.
I would just ask him why he feels that it has to be 50-50.
Well, that's what she's asking. She's asking, is anything changed? Like what has changed here? What circumstances have changed? She already got curious. And he was like, I don't know. You just have to do it. I don't know. Just pull stuff out of your savings.
Or it's like, but like, where is it coming from? Like, who told you this? Like, where did you find this? It's like,
But there is an update.
whatever.
So last time I posted was Monday.
I hate Mondays.
Monday as a whole was spent just sorting through what I felt and what to do next. There was a lot of silence and a lot of anger and a lot of Reddit advice, some of which I found very insightful, some of which was less so. Also, some people think I made this up as part of a viral marketing sponsorship between Buffalo Wild Wings, Audi, and Zillow, which honestly would solve the money problems if true, but alas, is not the case.
Dang it.
Bummer. On Tuesday, after I got home from work, I sort of just walked up to him on the elliptical and explained as calmly as I could that I had questions. And if he actually wanted to marry me, he needed to be willing to answer them. I asked if he thought I was a gold digger, yes or no. He said yes.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Cool.
Okay, well, okay.
So if you dated someone who made more money than you, would you be a gold digger then?
Wow. I told him that I wasn't willing to be in a relationship where I have to prove myself by sacrificing any sort of stability, and that led to a bit of a screaming match and eventually a confession. So it turns out we cannot afford anything we have right now.
Wait a minute. What?
So he's living above his means. That's what I was thinking.
He
I was
filled
like,
up his financial box.
something happened. We are in serious credit card debt. The cars are both on the verge of being repossessed, and I did not know about any of this.
Dang, he blew out his financial box.
He's been cutting corners on actual necessities, including psychiatric medication. That, in combination with some comments from his family, led him to some pretty dark places. My fiance had a full mental breakdown and apologized for calling me a gold digger, which was nice to hear. But this whole thing had me pretty shaken up. I went to stay with a friend for a little bit. Yesterday, my fiance and I did in fact go out to BWW and get the 2-for-1 boneless.
Stop it.
Stop it.
We talked a lot. I'm still writing fiancé for now, and I really hope we can work through all of this. We talked about how to sell the cars. We don't particularly have a choice at this point. About my income, his income, and the sort of life we want to have. If we do stay together, we'll be changing how we live a lot. We need to get out of debt. We need to get on our feet. I know some people are going to say I'm being dumb for not immediately dropping all contact and giving up on the relationship, but I can't do that. I can't look at the guy I love who went off his meds to try and make a good life for me and think he's not worth sticking around for, at least to try. Don't get married yet, though. Don't get married when he lied to you about your finances and got you guys into a bunch of debt. Just wait a bit.
Yeah.
Wait a bit on the marriage
Yeah.
line, you know?
Doesn't
Hold off on that.
doesn't come across as the most trustworthy guy.
No. It's like maybe, you know, you want to give him a second chance. You care about him. You love him. Don't forget that he did lie to you about the financial situation that you're in.
And it's like, again, why? Like, where's it coming from? Like, who's
telling him that he has to live like this?
informing
if
you
anyone?
that this is the correct way to be?
But there's more.
But wait, there's more.
I don't know what the future looks like at all anymore, and the wedding is very postponed at the moment. Good. Sorry, this wasn't a more fun update. And relevant comments say, watch your credit like a hawk, home slice. Massive length, 400. While I understand that you want to make it work, there are few things of note. It is absolutely critical to know exactly how that debt got that deep. It's not at all acceptable that he's been cutting corners on psychiatric medication. He was going to point the finger at you being in the wrong until you brought up leaving. Exactly. He was literally blaming this on you. To be clear.
And he's like, she's like, well, I mean,
Just like, was it my fault?
he was trying. He stopped taking his meds for me. Isn't that romantic?
Like, no, it's not. His choices have left you both in debt. How much of an effort is he willing to make to help you both claw out? And you really need to take a hard look at this relationship, how your future will look in it. And there is an update.
Yeah. Well,
too many
technically, he
thoughts.
didn't put both of you in debt because you're not on the house, right? Because you're
Well,
not married.
No, exactly. They're
So
not
that's
married
good.
yet,
That's
but
good.
it seems like OP is taking this debt on mentally.
Don't do that.
It seems like OP's like, yeah, we have to figure out how to get ourselves out of this debt.
Don't do this.
It's not, if you did not know about the debt, it's not your, I mean, like, I understand that you're in a partnership, but like,
No.
he's put himself into a lot of
He
debt.
bought a Range Rover and an Audi for himself?
Gross.
Yeah, it's not your debt, buddy.
Only one of those kinds of
I mean,
cars
OP.
are worth having. I'll let you decide which one is which.
But there is an update. Good things about my fiance. Author's note, one day later, OP made this very weird post where she lists the things she likes about her fiance. I think this was a response to everyone telling her how awful her fiance is. And here's the list. Pretty as F. This is the most
That's the
physically
first thing.
attractive man I've ever met. Literal golden curls like a Da Vinci painting. Crystal blue eyes. Just so pretty it gives me butterflies whenever he looks at me sometimes.
That's funny. Whenever he looks at me sometimes.
Sometimes. Number 2, best I've ever had in bed. Very good at just about anything. Actually likes going down on me. Makes me see stars. I've never been in a relationship that I was spicy related satisfying as this one. And there's no way I'm going back it after this. Number 3, his voice is very sexy.
So he's hot. He's hot.
Especially when he
He's
speaks
hot.
Russian. Ooh, he also speaks French, Spanish,
Un poco loco.
and apparently Latin. I haven't fact checked that one,
Ergo.
but Russian's my favorite.
Takate.
Number 4, got a vasectomy so I could go off birth control. He was the one to suggest it because he saw how much I hated those stupid pills and he was willing to get an actual surgery for me. Number 5,
Número 5.
I don't know, full of little surprises and adventures. Just like the massive amount of debt we're in. What an adventure that's gonna
Yes.
be.
Ooh-wee. What an adventure it'll be.
These are. I'm not gonna lie.
repairing my credit score.
This is such a funny post
This is such a
to add.
dense list. This
Yeah.
list is so dense.
I also don't believe it.
yeah.
I'm
He's
like,
hot. He's super
it
like
feels
hot.
like he
He's
read
really
it.
hot.
It was like, no, babe, tell them that tell him I'm good and bad, please. Don't
yeah.
think I'm just putting you in
He
debt.
treats me.
He lied about the very nature of our existence and then made it my fault.
He's always doing things like getting me wildflowers, making my favorite breakfast before I wake up, or even planning little day adventures for us to go on together. Life is never mundane when you're in massive amounts of crippling debt. Sorry, that's not what it says. Life is never mundane because he's always making it special. Actually does housework? What? Does not need to be asked to do housework. He actually does more of the cleaning than I do. And I cook most of the meals because he thinks that sweeping and mopping floors is meditative. I don't know how I got this lucky on this one. Plays guitar really, really well.
He knows this
It's
really cool
very
song
attractive.
called Wonderwall.
He knows
and
this
he's so
great
good at
song
playing
called Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, he plays the song Firefly.
Yeah. Can physically pick me up. What? And carry me around.
Wow.
And does this often. I am not a small woman, to be clear. This is legitimately oppressive and makes me feel so nice. Wait.
He's literate.
He reads.
He reads.
I could actually talk about books with him. You have no idea how rare this is, especially to find a guy who will read anything I say. Oh, I liked this. You do not comprehend the feeling of mentioning offhandedly that you're reading Midnight Sun and having him come to you the next day after spending all night reading so that you could talk about it together until you live it.
Okay, that's actually pretty thoughtful, but he lied. So this is all stuff that was probably happening before he got
lied
into
to you.
crippling debt
Yes,
and lied to you about it and made it your fault.
Has shown me that there is actual romance in life and that I deserve more than a flat, boring relationship devoid of zero moments or dancing in the rain or music. He brought real passion and fun and aliveness into my life, and in a world where that's treated as an unrealistic fantasy for most women, he's shown me that I deserve something unrealistic. Relevant comments. He may be the first man to give you romance, passion, and fun, but he's not the only one who can. These things are great right now, but long-term stability depends on much more important factors. Financial problems are a leading cause of divorce because once the fun stage is over, you're simply faced with the crushing reality. If you do stay with him despite all advice, please keep an eye on your bank accounts, credit score, and him in general. Don't marry him unless something changes in a major way, because if you take on his debts, you'll be stuck. Alti Boris says, it's a little concerning that your top 3 are physical attributes, plus number 8, and not personality traits. Looks fade, people get injured, they age, and physically change. If the biggest things you like about him are how he looks, how he does in bed, and that he can pick you up, you're not setting yourself up for success. 1 car accident, 1 work injury, heck, even just 5 or 10 years and half your list could be out. I'm also really curious about the vasectomy thing. You said he did it for you, but are you sure he didn't do it for him so he wouldn't end up with a baby on the side? All the men I know who have had vasectomies had them after they were married and had at least 1 child. I don't know, this just rings alarm bells for me. And there is a third update 2 years later.
Well,
So we're about to find out if this guy can still pick up OP.
I just wonder so many things. Oh boy, I wonder what happens. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy,
oh boy, oh boy. I wonder if this is going to start as so I found out about
was
what his life is
cheating.
like since
Yeah.
we never got married.
Yeah.
Or if it's going to start as so I'm just now starting to dig myself out of the crippling pit of debt that I jumped into
really
with my
hoping
ex-husband.
it's the former.
I'm trying to think of like a very
Oh no, he's
I can't do
hot.
it. No.
Well, there we go.
What did
There's
he
a third
do?
update. We are out of debt and still together, I guess.
Oh God.
It feels so good to say that and have it be true, but as of 3 days ago, wow, everything is finally paid off. And we've made our way back onto solid ground.
Okie dokie.
I just want to again state he put them into 2 years worth of debt.
find you a OP because they are loyal.
Almost 2 years ago, I made a post here about my 28 female fiance, 28 male, wanting to split things 50-50 and my offer of compromising on lifestyle changes. As it turned out, he was off his meds and had managed to get himself into some serious debt, a little under $100K, trying to provide a life that we could not afford on a combined $155K a year. Things were rough. I almost left him a few times, but we have finally made it through to the other sides. I handle the finances. And also, this is a lesson for everyone listening to the story. Even if you are not contributing the same amount as your partner, be an active participant in the finances. That doesn't mean necessarily paying for all of them, but it does mean taking a look at them, seeing what's going on in your life. What are we paying for? If we're living together, where is all this money going to?
And she's saying we, but it was he.
It was he.
It was a he moment. They were not married. They were not conjoined with their finances. This is he dug this hole.
I handle the finances, 100% of the finances. I give him a budget for buying coffee. It wasn't fun, but in exchange, she started doing more of the housework, so it evens out. We moved from our over-the-top apartment into a shared living situation, which, while not ideal, was leagues better than my initial plan of getting a trailer. We have roommates, but they're on another floor, so it's not too bad. And we have our own bathroom, which was my only real stipulation. We've lived like we're a $70K a year couple doing actual 50-50 finances, and every extra penny he's made has gone directly to paying off the debt, which at least that's the kind of shakedown of it all. Like his money is paying for this, not hers.
Yeah.
Because your none of your money should be going to paying off his debt.
No.
We sold the cars, obviously, traded them in for a nice used Ford Maverick and a Vespa. That helped a lot. There have been no more lavish vacations or over-the-top restaurants with $500 price tags. It was rough for my fiancé at first. He's always been very much a rich boy, and I think losing that as an identity was difficult for him. That being said, he's gotten so creative lately. It's been amazing to see. He'll make me things if he can't buy me things, and we've started cooking together instead of having me do almost all of it. Our room is covered in the things he's made for me, and it's really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That is good. By the way, you know what else is nice? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search a Poke Storytime. Ooh.
Do it.
But there's a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
This is a good example of when we read stories on the internet, we're not getting the whole picture.
Yeah.
And on its surface, all of this is an incredibly huge red flag, but it's the nature of, the committed relationships.
Yes. Some people are willing to kind of
You're always going to have
struggle
problems
through
at
more
some point.
things.
Yeah.
People's tolerance bars are different.
It's just a matter of what the problem's going to be.
Exactly. And if you're willing to put in the work to deal with it. And she was.
I think if there was not an unmedicated factor in this story,
it'd be different.
I would be way less.
Yeah.
I'd be way less soft on that. But it's there's a lot that goes into relationships other than the negative thing that we read about in one story.
Yeah, and she
So
really
it's good.
she
It's
really hammered that home.
And she was willing to work
Those
through
10
it.
points.
And I'm sure if it had gotten, worse, probably would have left.
Yeah, but it seems
But
like
it got better.
continuously got better. Yeah.
Things can get better.
But there's a little bit left. We're still in love. We're still going strong, and we can finally start actually planning our wedding again. I think it is very smart that you held off on that until now. We're gonna get our own place first, but the wedding is next on the list after that. I'm so glad that we stuck with this, and being on the other side is the greatest feeling in the world. Thank you to everyone who offered advice. I don't know how things would have ended up if I hadn't had the courage of my convictions, and I'm genuinely grateful to those who directed me to Dave Ramsey and Caleb Hammer. Y'all are awesome. Blue Being 22, hold on here, let me get this straight. So you communicated about all that hard stuff, right? And communicated some more. And then you made a plan and made long-term sacrifices to enact said plan. And then you continued to communicate and did all the hard work over a couple of years to meet your goals.
Hard work.
What? I'm confused. Is this even Reddit? P.S. Kudos to you and your partner. I'm impressed. And Opie says, we did, as a matter of fact, do all of the above. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it in the end. Polly the Pony says, this is so great to hear. Congratulations on your hard work. You should be proud of yourself, and there must be real love between you if you worked through it together. I'm so happy for you. Opie says, there's a lot of love here. He's my person, you know? I genuinely feel like the luckiest girl in the world when I'm around him, and God knows he loves me to the moon and back. Just Following 6465 says, this is a massive green flag on how you all worked through this. Just validation that you all can make it through a marriage long term. A lot of people can't. You'll go through other trials like this in your marriage, and you both handled it so well. Congrats to the future wedding. And Opie says, thank you. It was not the easiest thing in the world, but hey, nothing worth doing is going to be easy all the time, right? True.
That is pretty
That's true.
accurate, you know?
Yeah, I mean, props to you guys. You communicated and you worked through it. But that's the end of that story. My brother-in-law demanded my grandfather's vintage watch because he wants the good luck.
Well, what if I want good luck, huh?
I, 30 male, am engaged to Sarah, 29 female, and our wedding is in 10 months. I have my grandfather's vintage watch, which he wore on his own wedding day. It's a family tradition that the firstborn son wears it on his wedding day for good luck. By the way, this comes from Be Real Son. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, since my dad passed away when I was young, the watch came to me, and I've always planned to wear it when I get married. My future brother-in-law, Ben, 28 male, is Sarah's younger brother, and he's getting married in 4 months. He knows about the watch and its significance. Recently, he asked if he could borrow it for his wedding, arguing that since his wedding is first, he should be the one to have the good luck. I told him no, because I want to honor the family tradition and wear it myself. It has literally no meaning to this guy. Ben was upset and told Sarah that I'm being selfish. Sarah is caught in the middle. She understands my attachment to the watch, but also feels for her brother. I don't feel for her brother. Now her parents are saying I should let Ben wear it first, as it's just a watch and traditions can be flexible. I really value this tradition and the memory of my grandfather. Am I being unreasonable by refusing to let Ben borrow the watch? And folks, there is an update, but now that you're on the same page, what do you think?
I think it's crazy.
I think it's crazy.
I think it's crazy. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to him. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could do it if you guys are kind of close and like seems like part of the family and it's really just innocent. Like, hey, just like for some good luck, you know, but like maybe you could talk about it. But the second someone says no,
Yeah.
we don't keep badgering.
Like,
Yeah,
for
it's not your
example,
family.
another maybe a little bit more dramatized version of this is, let's say OP has a wedding dress and another, you know, their partner's sibling says, hey, can I use that wedding dress for my wedding? And they're like, no, this is my mom's wedding dress.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, no, it's just a wedding dress. Can I just use it? Can I just borrow it?
Huh?
No. Update. Hey everyone, thanks for the comments on my post. They really got me thinking. I talked to Sarah last night after work about Ben wanting my grandfather's watch, and it turned into a massive fight. We figured things out eventually, but it was a rough one. Here's what happened. I started by telling Sarah there's no way Ben's getting the watch. It's my grandfather's, worn on his wedding day, and the tradition is that the firstborn son wears it for good luck. Since my dad passed away when I was young, it's mine, and I've always planned to wear it at our wedding in 10 months. I hit her with what some of you suggested. If it's just a watch to Ben, why is he so desperate to wear it for his wedding in 4 months? She got heated, saying Ben's freaking out about his wedding and thinking the good luck will make it perfect. I called that straight up entitled. Ben's got no claim to my family's heirloom, and I'm not handing it over. Then I went in on her for not having my back, like a lot of you pointed out. I said she's only caught in the middle because she won't tell Ben and her parents to back off. Sarah lost it, shouting that I'm forcing her to pick sides, and her parents are blowing up her phone saying I'm being a knucklehead for clinging to a relic. That set me off. I yelled that it's not a relic. It's all I have left of my dad and grandfather, and if she can't see that, maybe she doesn't care about me. She snapped back that I'm fixated on a stupid tradition and making her family feel like garbage. You're making his tradition feel like garbage.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be the kind of situation where it's like, this watch is going to be at my wedding no matter what. Are you going to be at my wedding?
Ooh, bars.
Is this what's going to happen here?
Bars. I told her if we're getting married, she needs to act like my fiancé not Ben's defender. It got nastier. I said I will lock the watch in a safe because I don't trust her family not to misplace it. And she flipped, screaming that I'm calling them thieves. I shouted that I wouldn't have to if she just shut this down from the start. She started crying, saying I'm making her feel like a horrible fiancé, and I wasn't calm. I snapped that she's letting me down by siding with Ben. She grabbed her bag, said she's done with me for now, and stormed out to her friend's place. I was furious, thinking this might just be more than just the watch. Late last night, Sarah called, still upset but calmer. She said she doesn't want this to ruin us. I admitted I got too worked up, but I stood by needing her support. Good on you, OP. She broke down, saying she gets how much the watch means and feels awful for calling it a relic. She promised to tell Ben and her parents it's a hard no, and we'll face them together this weekend. Good? Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, she was being pretty sucky, but, she came around and realized, sometimes you get a lot of pressure from your parents and your family. And you feel like you
Yeah.
have to do it because they're telling you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you have this big blow up thing, and then you take some time and you realize, oh, yeah, I'm in the wrong.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like that's kind of the case here.
Yeah, I feel like if I was him, I would still need a second to
absolutely.
forgive, because it's like,
It's not just gone. It doesn't,
right. I feel like it's like, okay, great. You realized how crazy you will be in. Now let's talk about it, because what just happened?
Why did you feel the need to react that way?
Yeah, I don't know if he feels this way, but me personally, as Angie, I feel differently about this woman.
Yeah. I
So-
would feel disrespected.
Yeah, so
I'd feel like my consent in matters doesn't really matter.
exactly. And if they were saying that it's just a watch, then why did they care about it so much to this point?
She's coming home today, and we agreed to work on talking without blowing up, especially with her family causing trouble. To keep things cool, we're considering getting Ben a nice watch as a wedding gift, so he's got something without touching mine. But there is a second update. Hey everyone, thanks for the support on my posts about the watch mess. People wanted another update. Here's what went down this weekend when Sarah and I talked to Ben and her parents. On Sunday, we sat down at her parents' place for brunch. Ben brought up the watch, saying it'd be a classy touch for his big day. I'd been thinking a lot about why he wants it. He's, off. Got a old watch collection, all flashy modern stuff, not vintage like my grandfather's. It doesn't fit him. So I'm guessing it's his way of flexing control, like he's got to one-up me before his wedding. I stood my ground. It's my family's tradition tied to my dad and grandfather, both gone. It's all I've got left of them, and it's for my wedding. Sarah didn't hesitate and backed me, saying if Ben kept pushing, we'd draw a line. Things got heated. Ben got defensive, saying I was making a fuss over just a watch and ignoring family harmony.
Bruh.
He rolled his eyes when I mentioned my dad, which pissed me off. His fiancé finally left brunch, I think fed up with Ben. That seemed to knock some sense into him. He stepped out. They talked and both came back and apologized. Long story short, we're doing a golf trip in 2 weeks to hash things out. I might be naive, but I'm optimistic. Sarah's parents didn't say much, but her mom mentioned helping with our wedding in 10 months, like I owed them something. That hit wrong, especially since we're signing a prenup to protect their family assets. Yeah. Okay. These are rich people who
There
think
we
that
go.
they are owed everything. That's
There
it.
we go.
That's it.
We
They're
found
like,
it.
oh, yeah, we want that watch.
Can we have
Give
it?
me that watch.
Yeah.
Poor person. Give me the watch.
Yeah. It was crazy that he was saying, why are you making such a fuss out of this, when clearly it was him making the fuss out of this.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yup.
Wild.
That hit wrong, especially since we're signing a prenup to protect their family assets. I'm no slouch, though. I've made something of myself. Sarah was there through my darkest days. Addiction, hitting rock bottom, falling apart. Her parents thought she could do better, kept pushing their family piety thing, which probably made her feel stuck in the middle early on. Some of you said I should dump Sarah, but that's not right. We've been together for years, and she's been my rock through that mess. I've got screw-ups she's let slide, addictions, some darker stuff, so I'm not going to judge her for one rough patch. We've started counseling soon, something we both want to keep us solid. But you know what will keep you solid?
What?
Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Aboke Storytime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, but there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
One of our commenters said something about add the watch to the prenup.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, you
make
don't
sure-
get the watch.
Yeah, you're not getting that watch.
Honestly, yeah.
Shirley Sunshine.
But there's a little bit left of the story, but yeah, I think that you are on the right path with
Totally.
Sarah for sure.
Yes.
And I think it's just like, I think in therapy, you need to have a pretty long discussion about how, what you want your relationship with her family to be going forward.
Yeah.
And hopefully you kind of set those boundaries. Don't let them walk all over you, as it seems they want to do. And I think you'll be all right.
Yes. I agree.
We decided not to get Ben a watch. A lot of you pointed out a wedding gift should be for both the bride and groom, and I wasn't thinking straight before. We're leaning towards a honeymoon contribution instead. I'm starting to see clearer. Thank you everyone for the suggestions and support. I know I'm going against the main suggestion to dump Sarah, but that's not an option at this point. Not without me giving it my all, because I know she's willing to do the same. And that is the end of that story, folks. It seems like we're heading in the right direction, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think on like the brother-in-law's behalf, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
But with Sarah and OP, I think that's good. I still think it's probably a good discussion to have of like, hey, why did that
Agreed.
happen in the first place?
Yes.
But, still something that you can work through for sure. For sure.
My wife refused to compromise on our marriage because it's against who she is.
That's just the way I am.
When I was younger, before I met my wife, I had a pretty fun and adventurous life. I drank, I partied, I worked out, I tried some different substances, I worked out hard, and I had amazing, passionate, spicy sleep.
Cool.
I never went to college, but I worked hard and became a general manager, then a district manager. I was then asked to move from the West Coast to the Midwest to open and grow a small business. I accepted. By the way, this comes from Mr. 12, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I met my wife. I calmed down on the partying, going out and drinking. The substances I tried were usually a once or twice off while on a bachelor party here and there, so no issue there. On our first date, my wife didn't dress up, put on any makeup, or even shower after work. She came in a tank top and some black short shorts. I thought to myself, this is actually incredibly cute. She gives such few F's about this date. She is so low maintenance. She's still beautiful and fit even without all of that. She also told me on our first date that she doesn't like dressing up or putting on makeup. We went out again and again with slightly varying degrees of effort and dressing up. On our fourth date was a big one. We went to her favorite musical and she dressed to the nines. Tight black dress, wedges, black panties, makeup and everything. She looked stunning and I thought, what a catch. She's beautiful without any effort and gorgeous with it. We had spicy sleep for the first time afterwards. And okay. And it was a long and passionate and it happened again.
All right,
and again.
dude, you're cool. We get it. Just move on.
Move on. My wife had the complete opposite lifestyle that I had growing up. She is a homebody, didn't party, she's never been wasted, never tried substances, doesn't really like going out, hates cooking, but likes tidying and cleaning. I thought we would do an amazing job of balancing each other out. I could make her come out of her shell a little bit and she could rein me in. We used to work out together regularly. She was an athlete growing up and so was I. I still fancy myself an athlete to a degree. As my business grew, I had less time for working out for a few years. She stopped going to the gym as she got busier at work and we didn't have a workout routine together. We went through some ups and downs, lulls in our spicy sleep life due to her going to bed at 9 every night and me usually working until 10 p.m. or later. We got married and then moved to the suburbs. I sell my business and get a corporate job. I do well at my job. She does well at her job and gets promoted. I have time to go to the gym again, lose 30 pounds and put muscle back on. She works from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. I don't have any more crazy nights. I rarely drink, cook dinner at home, and have a boring life that is eating at me from the inside. The way that this OP is like setting things up, not even with the story, but just how he's writing the story, it feels like his English teacher would be like, you got to show, not tell, my guy. This is all telling. You gotta
Well, he's
just...
giving the, the exposition here.
There is no spice or passion in our life together. We are vanilla. We have no similar hobbies or shows that we watch together. Mostly we talk about work. I approach her and I say, this is what I need so I can be happier in our marriage. I'd like you to start coming back to the gym with me or doing some sort of exercise with me. For whatever screwed up reason, I need this for my partner to feel a connection with you. Interesting.
TMI here, but the only time we ever have something close to not vanilla spicy sleep is when we do some sort of physical activity together, like go on a hike or a rare yoga class together. I need a little bit more excitement or craziness from you. I'm not asking you to do a line of substances off of a spicy dancer's front airbag, but just be more open having a few drinks at a nice restaurant on a Tuesday night. If we lighten up a bit, some of our passion for life might come back. On our date nights, don't pull up in front of the house. Text me to come outside and drive us to the nearest restaurant because you're starving. Would you mind coming in and putting on a little makeup or something other than what you wore to work? Not every time, just every once in a while. So it feels like you're putting some effort into it. And there were some other minor requests. Her response. All of those things are against my core being, so I can't do those things for you. You shouldn't expect me to change who I am. I feel like the things I'm asking aren't excessive or unreasonable.
Right, but you asked in the wrong way, so she's being defensive.
I feel like these are basic things a married couple does to keep a spark going for the 60 years you plan to be together. Am I being unreasonable? There are some edits and additions. First off, thanks for the responses so far. Some of them have been eye-opening to what an a-hole I am for the way I presented this to her.
Thank you.
However, that doesn't change the way I feel. Second, something that I should add is that despite dressing up and wearing makeup being against her core being, she has no problem doing it for the occasional wedding or big event. Exactly. You want an event. You want a special thing to be excited for, and dressing up is a part of the process.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Anyone you're married to shouldn't need to have to put on anything to go anywhere with you. Only if they want to.
She says she likes to look good for the pictures. So can it really be against her core being? Third, everyone is focusing on the makeup and excitement comment, and I can see how that makes me sound like an absolute jackbutt. The thought I was trying to convey, which I did end up explaining to her as well, was that we needed to do things together to find a connection again. I unfortunately feel no closeness or emotional connection to my wife right now. I've suggested multiple different activities and adventures we can go on together so that we can share a common experience. She's usually too tired from work. And I don't need to do more things alone. I do plenty of things alone between friends, classes, and sports leagues. I want to do things with my wife. Fourth, at no point did I ever ask her to come party with me. I don't even party anymore. Where did I say that I asked her to party? All I said that I wished she could be more open and trying new things with me, whether it's a new restaurant or a new class, activity, or adventure. More addition. Where does it say anything about asking her to lose weight? People go to the gym for a variety of reasons besides losing weight. We do have an update. I'll try to keep this as short as I can. So, over the weekend, we talked much more calmly about some of the stuff that I approached her about. I started off by apologizing for the way that I phrased my wants, but also said that just because I was an a-hole in the way that I handled it doesn't change that those wants still exist. She acknowledged that it is definitely fair to want the relationship to be passionate and exciting after being together for 5 years. We came to some of the following agreements. Exercise and physical challenging activities together. She confessed that she can't get back into going to the gym because she associates the gym and working out with 10 years of her life where she was forced to work out, constantly told that she wasn't good enough and needed to be better, and being yelled at by coaches in high school and college.
Oof. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, bigger deal. Turns out this aversion is something a lot of athletes deal with, which is news to me. I didn't know that either.
Oh yeah, dude. You think that's why like there's a huge, a great football player who retired at like not the height of his career, but it's like he's definitely still could have kept going, and he's just like, I just don't have it in me. I just don't want to do it anymore. I already won the Super Bowl.
Dang.
Dude, I want to keep doing this. This stuff's hard.
It is hard.
And I'm done. I got a family.
Yeah.
I got a Super Bowl ring.
Chill out.
I got money.
You're good.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that makes sense for
Once
sure.
you make that call,
Yeah. I started looking into physical activities that we can do together, and we're planning to try some different things. We have an indoor rock climbing date planned for this week. Oh, fun. Which we are both excited about. See, that's fun. There's a lot of fun activities to do that doesn't have to be like go push,
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
As for effort into the date night, I backtracked big time on the makeup and be more fun and exciting thing and said that I was a total knucklehead for saying that, and it was not what I meant. I used a horrible example there. I explained in a little more detail that I basically wanted to feel more like she wanted me to be attracted to her. She agreed that it was unfair for her to pull up after work on a date She agreed that it was unfair for her to pull up after work on date nights and just have me run out to the car so we can get to the restaurant and chow down. We will both be putting more effort into date nights. See, that's so nice. I
Yes.
love these solutions.
Look at what happens when you open communication
Yes.
channels with each other.
Yes. And it's okay if it starts in a bad way because you didn't mean it. You make mistakes and then you communicate about that.
Yes.
I will do a better job of picking new and fun places to try. She will be more open to trying new things and spend some time after work getting ready. Which brings us to the last point. Her work hours. She didn't realize the toll it was taking on a relationship that she was exhausting herself at work. She said that she will make a bigger effort to leave by 4:30 going forward and to go in less on the weekends, which will leave more time for us to do things together, even if it's as simple as relaxing by the pool. I didn't mention the spicy sleep stuff. I'm hoping that if these changes stick, that will naturally result in a more passionate, spicy sleep life, which will probably be true, honestly. I ended by asking if there was anything else that she wanted from me and that she didn't have to respond right now. She said that she will take some time to think about that, as she hasn't even thought about anything like that lately. Thanks to everyone for the advice, and I'm excited to see where our relationship goes from here. And I'm excited to see all of you go over to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. We've got full episodes and more stories just like this one. Just search OK Story Time.
That's right. Over
Yeah.
2,000 episodes.
So many. There's more to this story, but I'm loving how this is going.
Yes, it's perfect.
This makes me feel so warm inside.
Yes, it's like when you feel like things are slipping in any given context, like a relationship or something, it's like, just talk. You have to talk about it.
Yes.
Don't just sit there and say nothing.
Exactly. It's just I feel like this is such a breath of fresh air because so many of these stories, like when problems start to come up like this, or similar to this, it's usually like, no, like, blah, blah, it's just be this whole fight and then it ends up that they shouldn't be together and that whoever brought up the problems was the a-hole because he didn't bring them up in the right way. But this is so relieving that it's like, hang on, guys. It's okay. They both love each other and they're going to work it out. It's so nice. And we do have a little bit more to the story. So,
Indeed.
more happy updates. She is currently planning a date for us for the weekend, which is a trip to Tequila Fest in our local downtown. This is something so literally beyond anything that she's ever shown an interest in that I am totally floored. Sorry, I'm not trying to brag, just really excited. And I understand that she's probably not interested in tequila, but that she's going to do it to make an effort to do stuff together. And that is the end of that beautiful story.
I saw suspicious messages on my wife's phone. She's saying I'm just crazy.
I swear, it's not what you think.
So my wife and I have been together for 8 years, 2-year marriage. Like any relationship, we had our ups and downs, but we had always been respectful to each other about our private lives. No jealousy, no spying, nothing. She was the one that healed me after my previous relationship. I'd been cheated on. By the way, this comes from Kutyaps. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I'm close with her family members, especially with her mother and grandmother, and they love me as a son. Her friends see me as a perfect husband.
Okay, don't toot your own horn.
And you could kind of say I am.
Oh, man,
right.
you're really tooting it.
Oh, man definitely has got a little
I don't know
ego.
if I can trust you if you say that I'm the perfect husband.
I am the perfect. He's not saying, I guess he is. He's like, they say I'm the perfect husband.
And also
and I agree.
say.
And I agree. I knew this guy. Let's name him Jake. And my wife had a sister-brother relationship that started a year ago where they shared some stuff online, like hardships, etc. And they even met me and talked to me. And of course, being 8 years younger than my wife, I also saw him as a little brother. I even met his parents. But 2 weeks ago, when we were at our cousin's house, we visited there to buy a new house in the neighborhood, and he was there too. I got chills down my spine, like something is wrong with this guy. And just as I'm thinking it, they went into a separate room to discuss a personal matter Jake had.
What kind of personal matter?
I got some salami in my pants that wants to meet
Whoa, we didn't have to say it out loud. We could have just used
Implied it. Use the imagination.
implications.
You can still use your imagination. I just gave them more of a starting point.
A little bit more to imagine.
Yeah.
Yikes.
My mind was giving me so many alarms, but I told myself, don't be ridiculous. But when they got out of the room, their faces were kind of reddish, and I just thought the room must be hot. But of course, my mind would not stop thinking about it. This was a different feeling. Like I trusted this girl 100% through 8 years, and now my mind was not letting it go. Weird, I said. And I decided that I have to go talk to my wife about this and see how she reacts. She was calm and told me things like, "Are you jealous? He's like a brother to me." And that's funny. And when I asked, "Can I see what he writes to you on your phone?" She said, "Okay," but immediately explained that they call themselves my love sometimes as a joke.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that conversation was over. She was a little resentful after this, though, saying, "I'm just a little irritated. You can think this way." I could still not let it go for 2 days because my gut feeling was giving me so much. Something is a misvibe here. And I was feeling so bad and I had to learn more. So I read all the messages they'd sent each other secretly.
Ooh.
Weirdly, at first, months ago, there were a few red flags which I would not like, but still could turn a blind eye to, like, "You're very handsome."
It's just another literary inside joke.
And him calling my wife, "You're like my real sister."
Okay, wait. It's circled back around again.
Back around.
And it's weird. It's
But
weird.
"You're really handsome" is an odd one.
Yeah, "you're really handsome," followed by "you're like my real sister."
I feel like her saying "you're really handsome" and him saying "you're like my real blood sister."
Maybe he's trying to put a stop on it.
He's pumping the brakes.
Yeah, he's like, "I love you like a sister."
Yeah. I feel like she is trying to.
She's trying to put on the
brakes,
gas.
Put on the gas.
And he's trying to pump the brakes.
Yeah. But as I got closer to the present, I saw these messages. "If you were any younger, I would totally take you as my boyfriend, I swear. Don't call me sister again. In any case, haha, JK. Sends photo."
Love lady, my favorite stalker. I'm sexy in those photos, though.
"Not just in photos, my baby. You were always sexy.
That's
I missed you so much. I forgot to apply to you."
My love, I missed you too so much. It's okay, baby.
"Send a pic to me. I haven't seen you in a while. Shows new haircut. Did you like my hair? It's just like you like it."
Oh, I think I'm starting to fall in love with you.
Ooh. Weird thing is, after these messages, there's also a "thanks, sister" message, but I don't know if it's a sign of anything. Of course, I talked to her again about these conversations, saying that this is flirting. And she was so upset and disappointed. Her explanation was, "They are jokes, and Z generation talks like that," telling me things like, "How can you think something like that? He's 8 years younger than me. I'm so disappointed in you."
Why did she say I would date you if you were younger? Maybe she meant if I were younger.
Oh, if I were younger. I would
Maybe
date you.
that's what, and maybe it's translated. Maybe it was if I were younger, I'd date you.
If I were 8 years younger, I would
That
date
makes
you.
a lot more sense than if you were
8
younger.
years, yeah. Right now, she went to her mother's house telling me she doesn't want to talk about that topic again, telling me, "You were the perfect husband. How can you do this to us?"
Dang, so everyone thinks he's the perfect husband.
Yeah, everyone, dude, everyone, including his wife.
Yeah, he's like, see, even my wife thinks it.
Wow.
And she's a cheater.
But of course, I'm trying to solve this by going to relationships counselors, etc., and talking with my most trusted friends. And they all say this type of communication between big sister and little brother is so wrong, but it's tied to the person's character. I never knew my wife had a habit of stretching the boundaries that much. I mean, she sometimes calls younger people my love, etc., but isn't this conversation a bit much? The last thing she told me was, "I can't help you if you're unwell like this. You have to solve this by yourself." We were sweet as heck, and she really was a trustworthy person, but I don't know what to make of the situation. I need some help here. We got an edit to the story. I lawyered up.
Woo!
Boom.
Nice.
And we are getting a divorce. A lot happened since I wrote this post, so I'm going to make another post about what happened. She's still holding the idea that I accused her and asked for a contested divorce instead of consensual for me to prove my allegations, but my lawyer says the evidence is quite danging. Don't know why she did that. And we got the update. Let's go straight into it. So to continue the story, she was at her mother's and I was home, but I had an urgent project to do at the office, so I made an ultimatum saying, "Come to the house and let's talk. I'll be at the office for 3 days. If you don't come, we won't talk at all." She came, but generally she told me the same stuff like, "He's too young. I didn't even consider you would think this way," etc. I also asked her what if the roles were reversed and she saw me talking to a young girl like that. She told me it's okay if she's like a sister to you and you're close. Then that's normal. I also mentioned the lipstick issue where she sulked about it for 5 months and then she told me, "I believed you back then when you said it was a good-hearted gesture. Why don't you believe me now?" What's the lipstick issue?
We weren't told about any lipstick issue.
I believed you back then when you said it was a good-hearted gesture. Why don't you believe me now? If you don't trust me, was our 8-year relationship for nothing? And of course, none of these statements were fitting my logic, but there were 2 very spicy related sentences in there. When I mentioned those, she was like, yeah, that's inappropriate. I don't know why I said those things. The kind of shocked face.
She's like, oh my God, I said that?
I mean, I must have been in a stupor. At the end of the conversation, I said I had to go to the office, but before I went, I had to do a test. I told her I forgot something in the conversation and I wanted to look at her phone. She said, okay, went to the other bathroom, told me the phone battery had no battery left, took her phone to the toilet with her, came out and put her phone on charge. She was very careful and she was protecting her phone from my gaze and showed me only the sentence I asked about, then pulled back the phone. She also had a password for the screen lock now, which she didn't normally have.
That's not suspicious at all.
Very, very weird. When I was at the office, she sent me 2 screenshots explaining the 2 very spicy related sentences, telling me all kinds of explanations like it was an inside joke. He told me that, I told him this, etc. But the thing here is that I realized she deleted some sentences even when explaining things to me. One of them was, don't call me sister in any case, haha JK. I calmly returned home. She had already put on her outside clothing. I thanked her for the screenshots and explanations, but she immediately reacted, I didn't send those pictures to further discuss this issue. I don't want to talk anymore on this. So she's trying to end it.
Yeah,
she's trying to
like, stop bringing up the past.
But I remained calm and said, I remember this conversation was a little bit different. She told me, yeah, I traveled back in time and made the conversation again. I asked, did you delete anything when you were sending me these screenshots? She said, are you joking? Of course not.
Gaslighting.
And I told her she deleted a sentence and a voice message. She first told me, yeah, I deleted them because I was afraid you were going to get angry. Then she got up and told me, we're divorcing anyway, and left the house. This was the 4th time she used the word divorce in a 2-year marriage. I called my parents, told them everything. They were shocked too, of course, and they were there for me 100%. And of course, they were stunned the conversation between my wife and Jake. I called her mother too and told her everything, and she was shocked too. But 2 days later, her mother called me again and told me she wanted to have a conversation with me and her daughter. Right now, I don't even know what she wanted to talk about anymore. So they came, and at first their explanations were the same. I asked, what about the phone hiding in the password, leaving me and telling me we are going to get a divorce, and then lying to my face? How can I trust you after all these? I think that's true. Like, I don't know how OP could trust his wife.
Well, why would he? She hasn't told the truth even now.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. After that, her mother took control of the conversation and told me this. You nitpick the conversation. When you look at the whole context, you don't get any idea of flirting. You just got to look at all the messages.
Yeah, if you look at it all, it's like when you look at something really close, it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
But then when you step back, you realize that the whole time it's been a picture of the Eiffel Tower.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just like that.
Just like the Eiffel Tower, which I'm sure is happening to your wife.
Oh.
Dang it. You're like a bad journalist, picking only the bad stuff in the whole conversation. I know my daughter, and I'm sure she can't do something like that, but she's an idiot. She doesn't know how to talk to people. Yeah. And she couldn't discern between talking to a girl and a boy.
She's pleading the insanity defense.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm sorry, my daughter's stupid.
Yeah, you married a complete dunce.
Yeah, she just doesn't understand what the difference between men and women are.
Yeah. She's still learning. Give her a chance. She also attacked me saying, you're a bad husband. Which can't be true.
Not true.
Perfect husband, according to everyone.
Everyone, including 10 out of 10 doctors, say otherwise.
You don't set boundaries about how she could talk to other people and how free she can be. You were letting her see her male friends.
Well, there you go.
You didn't set boundaries, OP. You didn't fence her in.
You didn't lock her in a closet.
You didn't lock her.
And that's on you.
I was like, what the frick at this moment? Then she asked me, if you trust her, I'll leave her here. If you don't, I'll take my daughter with me. I told them I do not. Lastly, she, the mother, told me to call my parents and tell them I was wrong. I nitpicked the conversation. And I called them. My father was like, what nonsense is this? That doesn't even work like that. And they left the house in a hurry as they heard my father's response. 2 days later, her mother came alone, gave me the ring and the key to the apartment. She asked me, I learned you got cheated on in your last relationship. Did you also get suspicious for no reason then too?
Wait, that's a terrible, what?
Oh my God, the mom's so mean. Also, like...
But that doesn't even make sense. She's like, oh, did you get suspicious for no reason in your last relationship when you confirmed got cheated on?
I mean, maybe it wasn't confirmed.
That doesn't
Still,
make any sense.
I'm like, I mean, you look at these text messages that we've gone over. It is, I mean, it's fairly obvious over the line.
Yeah.
Even the mother's like, my daughter's an idiot and doesn't know how to respect boundaries, and it's your fault for marrying an idiot and not setting boundaries with an idiot.
Yeah. And it's your fault for
That's
cheating and
crazy.
being suspicious of that cheating in the last, or getting cheated on and being suspicious of that cheating in the last
Literally,
relationship.
everyone in OP's life is gaslighting him.
Yeah.
The perfect husband.
Crazy.
The perfect husband.
The confirmed perfect husband.
Perfect husband. Like why do the most perfect people get the most flack? You know.
That's what I'm always saying.
Yeah, that is what you're always saying.
What I'm always
Sophia,
saying.
a known perfect person. My friend who was with me told her, no, he got the proof, and she confessed. And then she said, there was never a disgrace like that in our virtuous family for generations. I leave you to your conscience. We don't want anything. We are awaiting your uncontested divorce papers. What country is this in? Because this is not, they're definitely not English a first language. Riley, can we look up where a contested divorce happens?
Mm-hmm.
Later, I found a lawyer. He also told me I'm 100% in the right here, even more so legally. She called twice, first to tell me she changed her mind and wanted a contested divorce, telling me, you smeared me and you have to prove it. The second time, asking about the divorce, I told her to talk to my lawyer.
Ooh,
Boom.
talk to the hand.
Putting the hand up. She called my lawyer asking, what evidence will you submit to the court? And my lawyer told her, why should I give that information to you? Boom. By the way, information I want to give to you is the fact that you can listen to full episodes of stories lists like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update. But Sophia, what the heck?
Man. I think divorce is what you got to do.
I think divorce is definitely what we got to do.
You must divorce.
I mean, this is, I feel like it's pretty clear cut with these messages that she's at the very least hiding something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have to plead insanity for your daughter to be absolved,
it's not, I mean, yeah. If she's that dumb, then I don't know if we want to be in a relationship
maybe she's
with.
too dumb to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Anyway, for 2 to 3 weeks, I was really bad. Like I didn't want to do anything, but I'm okay-ish now. Staying strong, even laughing at the series of unfortunate events.
Truly.
And that is where that story ends.
My mother-in-law destroyed my hobby to make me a real man.
What is this, Mulan? What are we doing?
I, 38 male, live with my wife, 37 female, and my 7-year-old son. I work as an engineer, and my wife is a senior supervisor at a law firm. I have always loved Lego since I was a kid. And sure, it's kind of childish, but it makes me happy, so I've kept it as a consistent hobby throughout my adult life. By the way, this comes from OK Repeat 7885, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, in 2024, I spent months building the Millennium Falcon with my son. It's me and my son's pride and joy, and I often show guests who come over. My wife doesn't really get the hype, but doesn't mind either. In early March, my wife's parents came over for a week to spend time with us. They agreed, and I showed both her father and mother my Millennium Falcon. Her father was amazed at the time it took to build my sizable collection. But her mother said that it was a waste of time and that I should focus on being a real man and move up the corporate ladder. I laughed it off, but she's pretty old, and I figured she just held very old-fashioned beliefs. We left the room, and nobody really mentioned it for a few hours. But at dinner, her mother said out of nowhere that I should give up on all this Lego nonsense and be a real man. We ignored this and moved on, but you could see in her expression that she was not happy. Nobody said anything about it for the rest of their stay, and all seemed well the morning they left. They left at 3 a.m., to catch a flight, and we waved them off. I went back to bed, but the next morning awoke to find my Millennium Falcon smashed to pieces, with a note from my wife's mother calmly saying that this was for my own good, so that I can be a real man and focus on what matters.
I agree, though. This
What?
was for his own good.
Oh, because he should do it
because
faster.
now he can rebuild the Millennium Falcon.
Exactly. Think
Even
on the bright
faster
side.
than the first time.
Yeah. It turns out she had quietly destroyed it in the night and left in the morning. I called her in the morning, but she refused to apologize. I said that until she apologized, they would not be coming back again. My wife is not happy with my decision on this matter, and honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I overreacted. Did I go overboard, or am I in the right? And there are some comments and an update, but what do you say, Dakota?
The amount of entitlement from the mother-in-law.
Crazy.
How?
I mean, also, this
How?
is like something that his 7-year-old son built.
Right.
So not only is she like making a statement toward weird statement towards OP, but she also just kind of bullied a 7-year-old.
Right. It'd be different a little bit if this was like, you know, they're just dating, they're not married, they don't have a kid. This is like his bachelor pad she's seeing for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, check out my room with thousands of dollars of what are toys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd be like, hey, so when you marry my daughter, are you still going to spend all this money? But it's different.
It's different.
That makes it's, and you would still be wrong for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
It would just make a little bit more sense at least.
But there are some comments. History Chick 99, she ruined something you and your son did together. Regardless of her feelings about you, she actively did something that hurt her grandchild. That right there is grounds to not allow her in your home or have a relationship with your child. Your wife needs to think of how disrespected you were as an entire family unit. If she doesn't back you up with this, then you have some serious issues. Good luck, dude, not the a-hole. And Dumbly Hopeful says the wife let her mother tell him he wasn't a real man at dinner, likely in front of their child, and said nothing.
Ooh, yeah.
That is a great point. Yeah. Like, why are you defining what a man is, and also, you know, putting down a child's father in front of the child?
Well, if this is how mother-in-law is, can you imagine growing up with that for however many years?
Oof. I wonder if she has any siblings, the wife.
I
would be rethinking my relationship if I were OP. Oh, Research 69 says, yeah, I don't often get on the divorce bandwagon, and I'm not now. I was about to say, I was like, whoa. But geez, oh. You are supposed to support and look after one another. Why on earth would OP's wife allow this behavior unless she secretly agrees with her mother?
I mean, that's also, I feel like there's two highly likely possibilities. One is she can't stand up to her mom.
Yeah.
And two is that she agrees.
Klotzy Contest says respecting someone else's property is common decency.
Correct.
You and your son invested time and interest in a hobby that brings you joy. That is just as, if not more important, as increasing your earning potential. When your son is an adult, he will retain memories of the time you spent together. Gaslight GBT says, let GMA know that she just ruined her image of herself to grandson for the rest of his life. Eleanor of Aquitaine, when I was 6, my grandmother threw away one of my Hot Wheels sets because I'm a girl, and girls have no business collecting toy cars. I still think of her as a B granny, and she's been gone for almost 20 years. There is an update. First off, I want to thank everyone for the outpouring of support. I had a good long talk with my wife in an attempt to resolve the situation, and we've called the mother-in-law, which I hoped would diffuse the situation and bring things back down to earth. Instead, tensions have seemed only to have escalated.
Oh no.
For anyone who didn't see the original post, my wife's parents came to visit for a week in which things went relatively smoothly, aside from some disparaging comments about my Lego collection from the mother-in-law. But after they left in the night, we discovered the Millennium Falcon destroyed with a note from my mother-in-law saying she did this so that I can move on and be a real man. The craziest part, I think, to me is the note.
Right.
It's like, I did it. Yes, it was me all along.
The audacity.
Firstly, after lunch, my wife and I discussed the situation adult to adult. I expressed my feelings of her not being behind me in this. She admitted to having harbored feelings against my Lego collection. She also admitted to secretly agreeing partially with her mother. She doesn't think that my mother-in-law should have gone as far as she did, but according to my wife, I need to move on. I feel hurt by this since it's been my lifelong hobby, and being an engineer, I take great joy in building various creations with Legos.
Just imagine she's like, you need to move on. You're making our child childish. You need to sit down with him and teach him how to do taxes.
I don't understand.
He's 7 years old.
Also, yeah.
He can't balance a checkbook.
I don't know. I don't get why adults are so boring sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
Some
'cause
adults
it gets
are
hammered
so
out of 'em.
like, you can't, that's a certain age limit for that thing. And it's like, okay, is it hurting anyone? After that, my wife and I were certainly not in agreement, but we were at least on the same page. We also both wanted to resolve things with my mother-in-law. So that day we called her mother and things did not go well, to say the least. I simply told her that I was sorry I had to not let her come back, and I hope things can be resolved quickly. Still feeling upset about the Lego Millennium Falcon, I said that all I asked of her was an apology. She refused, saying that if she bends for me at all, I would never get over my Lego obsession.
Jeez, Louis. Hey, newsflash, mother-in-law. Even if you don't bend, I'm not getting over it.
Yep. You just won't be able to see me.
Or your
Ever.
grandchild.
Or your
That's
grandchild.
the craziest thing here.
Yeah.
Everyone's forgetting there is a 7-year-old involved who also enjoys Legos.
My wife is not happy with any of this, and frankly, the marriage is starting to show tension, which worries me greatly. She seems to be more distant after all of this. I think maybe you go to her and say, I mean, yes, this is my hobby, but also this is something that I enjoy doing with our son, who is 7. Are you going to deprive the 7-year-old of the Legos too?
Not to mention millions of other people all
Yes.
over the world enjoy this.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's acting like she's acting like you're crawling around on the floor like a baby playing with like
Going
toy cars.
"Grr." It's like, no, you're literally building something. There's so many adults that, I mean, like stage designers in theater build like little tiny sets. And they buy little tiny things, and that's like a job. Like, you're building something. It's not.
So weird.
She seems to be more distant after all of this. By the way, you shouldn't be distant to us because you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Jabuki Story Time. But we've got a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't know if this is like a divorce situation yet
No,
or
not
anything,
yet
but it's
at
clearly
all.
like hey, we need to get on the same page because, we have a kid, I'm your husband, and now you've said some stuff that makes me think like you don't respect me,
Yeah.
or so like.
I mean, this is a woman who's been raised by her mother her whole life, and her mother has these ideas about what a man is and what a man cannot do. And she's probably, been taught that that's the correct, like Opie's wife has been taught that that's correct.
Right.
And now she's putting all of that on OP, and OP's like, whoa, where did all this come from?
Yeah, I would just try to have a non-confrontational conversation where you just go, okay, so where does this really come from?
Yeah.
Where
Do you think that I am not spending enough time with you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that I am not doing a good enough job, like with work?
Yeah,
Like,
and
is
really
there something that I am lacking?
hammer home also, it's an activity you do with your son.
Yes. Yeah. Like truly. I mean, again, it shouldn't matter, but I think maybe one way to get through to your wife is by saying that it's an activity you do with your son. My son has developed a strong disliking of the mother-in-law, and I really can't blame him. She has been getting a little crazy and seems to only talk about Trump these days. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Should we start considering a senior home for her? Yeah. So that's the update. Things are getting even worse, and I'm not sure if I can salvage the situation. I'll update everyone when new developments occur. And there are some final comments. Baby Toes Salami. Seems like some deeper issues here than Legos. My guess would be that your mother-in-law's actions and words are based on things that your wife has said to her. Mother-in-law went off the rails, but your wife likely lit the fuse. Go Melistic says, I agree. I think the wife is more complicit than Opie thinks. I wouldn't even be shocked if the wife asked her mom to do that. Even if she didn't do that, wife is clearly complaining a lot to her mother about this. I recommend marriage counseling stat. The other piece of this is the son now disliking grandma, who destroyed the project son and dad worked on and bonded over. If mom agrees with grandma that it was warranted, how long before the son pulls away from his mother? Pootie Ting says, how effing stupid. The wife has no place telling him what hobbies he can or can't do, unless it's affecting their finances or getting in OP's way of fulfilling adult responsibilities. That's what I was saying.
I was about to say that too. I was like, well, I was like, if his hobby is gambling all of their money away at the casino, you might have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I couldn't imagine if my wife tried to take from me the one thing that reconnects me to my inner child or to my son. Honestly, that's breakup material for me. Raisinette, 1962 says, this poor kid. His grandma breaks something he spent hours helping to build. Well, like months helping to build.
Yeah, I mean, it was weeks and weeks.
Yeah. And his mom is on Granny's side. Mother Search says it's the disrespect your wife has for you and the fact that she didn't give an F, that this was something that you spent time on and bonded over with your son. That's the problem.
Ooh, I think I get it.
What?
Wife's looking at the price tag and going, dude, what?
Oh, like the
Dude,
the $800.
$875 for Millennium Falcon. I get it. It's a hobby. I get it that you can do it with our son. $875? We could all go on vacation.
Well, then that's what she needs to bring up then.
Right.
It shouldn't just be like, oh, your hobby is so childish.
Yeah.
It should be like, hey, I feel like we should be saving some money here. Like, you don't have to necessarily give up Legos, but maybe we go for the cheaper ones.
Yeah, maybe don't buy the Lego set, you know?
She didn't give an F about how this had affected her son. She didn't give an F and has no respect for your work as an engineer and seems to think it is not a real man's job. You are focused on thinking that you have a mother-in-law problem, but you actually have a wife problem. I'm willing to bet good odds that her mother's behavior has been fueled by your wife, and that's why she had the audacity to do what she did.
I think it's probably the other way around, but regardless,
Yeah,
I
she's
do
been doing
agree
that.
it's a wife problem. Forget
I
the
agree.
mother-in-law. She doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Fix your relationship with your wife.
Neither of them even care about what they're doing to your son with their behavior. They deliberately destroyed something that was not just materially valuable to him, but also emotionally significant. A project that he had built with his father that he was proud of. You and your wife need to have a proper come to Jesus talk about the state of your relationship and why she is so nonchalant about her mother's wanton destruction of something that meant so much to her own son. And that is the end of that story.
Yes. And I do maintain the path forward here as the Lego enthusiast.
Yeah.
To, because I'm thinking if I'm that age and I made something like that and it got destroyed, I'd be distraught.
I would cry.
But it's just like, dude, round 2, we get to do it again.
Yeah. Well, I think
awesome.
I think that's how you kind of pitch it to your son. You're like,
exactly,
yeah, it really sucks. It really stinks that grandma, did that, but that's okay. We can rebuild it, and that's so much fun.
Yeah, and you can turn it into a life lesson. It's like, hey, you get knocked down, you don't have
back
to
up.
stay down there forever. We can just
Rebuild.
rebuild that puppy from the ground up.
Mm-hmm. It's a metaphor. And then you go, son, I know you're 7 and you don't understand what a metaphor is, but you're about to learn. To be honest, I feel like if you spent $800, you would want to get some use out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have to have a battle, have it fly around, maybe run it into a Star Destroyer.
Yeah. Like,
That's going to be rough, though.
Make the destruction, like...
And you got to separate the pieces
Yeah.
for each set. I think Dered said, what if the pieces are broken? Another great opportunity to teach a life lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to keep moving forward.
Glue.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Do the best we can. Keep moving forward.
Good thing about Legos, though. Hard to break those pieces.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
Some
look,
of them can
if
be
this
broken.
woman actually smashed this and then like broke all of the
Yeah.
important pieces in half,
That's embarrassing for her.
I'm taking her to court.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, she wasted, that's like $800.
Yeah, $800 plus emotional damages for my son.
Meddled with my medical charts. I want to report it.
And I could have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you, meddler.
Is this just normal bad or bad? I've been with my wife a little over 10 years, married for the last 6. Can you guys let me know if I have a relatively normal, annoying mother-in-law or a more extreme case? By the way, this comes from Del Taco 911. And if you want to spit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my mother-in-law is a nurse. I knew long before marriage that she was snooping into my health records and also looking into my mom's, who passed away in 2009. I only know this because at the time I was in hospital QA and staffed quite a bit, and my genius mother-in-law left her footprints all over the charts. I assume you mean fingerprints. I have asked her to respect my privacy, but she comes back with, if you have nothing to hide, then you don't need privacy.
Your mother-in-law here needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
I felt like she was trying to find out if I had any mental health issues, which I don't have any diagnosis of, or any red flag health issues. If she was so curious, she could have just asked me. She somehow charted that she gave me a flu shot one year. This isn't a one-click whoopsie, because she would have had to open my charts, open the immunization tab, select the vaccine, enter the manufacturer, lot, EXP. Why would she do that? Fast forward a few years later, when my wife was in labor with our first child, my mother-in-law called, emailed, texted constantly. When I picked up the phone, she yelled at me going, "You're not taking care of my daughter." Keep in mind, my wife is now a stay-at-home mom. With some days, both kids are in daycare, so my wife can have time to herself. I'm the most responsible and hardworking person you'll ever meet.
I don't know, buddy. I wake up every day and meet myself in the mirror.
Yeah, I've met a lot of responsible and hardworking people.
No, I'm just kidding.
Namely Dakota.
Aww.
I grew up with nothing and finished 7 years of college by 23 while working 2 jobs to support myself and my passing mom. We are in our 30s with our dream house paid off and basically cruising / passive income building / set for life. All because I busted my butt when I was young. I don't smoke, drink, or do anything risky. I don't show off. I don't blow money on stupid stuff. But I live responsibly and go on lots of fun vacations with my family. I've been told, "You're my parents' wet dream" by other girls.
I don't like thinking about that phrase.
Now, to get back to my mother-in-law, I listed off the stuff she's done in email. Email title is usually ? or FYI. Often multiple email threads titled ? pertaining to the same topic. Hard to follow ideas as they are thrown out haphazardly. Not uncommon to open email at night and have 5 emails titled ? times 3. And 3 of them will be on the same topic. The record to beat is 12 emails in one day, which included a very informative email telling me where to put my water by my bed in case I get thirsty at night, but not somewhere I may knock it over.
Thank God.
Gives commands on what to do, often disoriented and disorganized, highly stressed, highly urgent, thinking out loud, lots of back and forth, gives commands, but may change mind at a moment's notice with another email. So she's sending written voice memos.
I would just stop responding
I
or
would block
opening
her. Yeah.
or
Send it straight to junk.
yes,
do
just
that.
ignore these.
Indecisive can lead to added stress. Communication is a list of commands, one way only. Quickly turns into a disorganized interrogation, also very nosy.
Right, so ignore her.
No respect for personal privacy. If you're not doing anything bad, then you don't need privacy. Requires immediate submission to commands. Gets impatient for reply, makes us feel obligated to reply ASAP. If reply isn't given in time, original email is sent again with title ? Second time, which indicates a reply is now required. If no reply is given to ? Second time, then an in-person confrontation occurs. Okay, so it can't just go to junk because she does get upset.
No,
I guess.
I don't care if she's upset. It can
Strange.
go to junk. And if she wants to get upset and confront me, she can hear it straight from my mouth that I don't care.
Yeah. One time she did this with me. I asked her to look in her sent folder, and it turns out she was misspelling my email address. How she misspelled my address when she emails me 5 times a day is beyond me. Oftentimes, we don't know how to reply because the email doesn't convey a complete thought, and sometimes doesn't contain a question. We don't know how we're supposed to respond. Gives little to no time for follow-up, often multiple times a day, nagging, "Didn't you do it yet? Did you do it yet? Don't forget, don't forget." Many follow-up emails. If there's a lot of time leading to a date, then weekly reminders or more. Leads to alert fatigue. After a while, it's a constant fire truck siren. Wordy, too many instructions, too disorganized, alert fatigue. So is she average crazy or is she crazy? And there is an update. She sounds a little crazy.
Boy, I think you're crazy for entertaining her for 1 minute.
She's crazy. Stop checking those emails. Send it straight to junk. And if she tries and talks to you in person, you say, "Sorry, mother-in-law, we got rid of our computer."
What does your partner have to say about this?
Yeah, why is this all happening? I don't know. I think we need to go try and get this lady into a sanatorium. I'm just kidding.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, though, I don't think this feels like a person who should be working in the medical field.
No, I would be sending all of this to a freaking, like go to where she works.
For the safety of everyone in the hospital, I don't think she should be a nurse. That's crazy.
Say, hey, this is my mother-in-law. She's harassing us. This is what she stole my medical information. So,
but see, now that's going to be incredibly hard to navigate because that's your wife's mother.
Yeah.
Where if you do go down that road, you are now taking away her income. You're taking away her security. Like rightfully so.
Yeah.
Like if you're a bystander, but like with the context of the family is incredibly complicated, and it's so not fair that she's forcing you into this position.
Agreed. Update on HIPAA violation. It's impossible to talk to mother-in-law in person because she has very selective hearing and also hearing loss, for which she has a hearing aid but refuses to wear it. So I went with a letter. She refuses to wear her hearing aid?
She's a nurse. She knows better.
Mother-in-law very upset with the letter right now and feels she was blindsided and attacked. She says there was no indication that there was anything wrong, despite my multiple attempts to gingerly talk to her. Apparently, mother-in-law kept saying to sister-in-law, am I a terrible person? I know I'm not a terrible person. And father-in-law stepped in and said, no, you're not. You're not a terrible person. The same father-in-law that warned me that marriage is miserable and that I'll end up hating his daughter as much as he hates his wife. What is this family?
What is going on? What?
The same father-in-law, when I asked for his daughter's hand in marriage, responded with, are you sure? This is what you want. Mother-in-law initially said she was looking in my charts to find my mom's name to snoop in her chart. She said that out loud?
Yeah, this woman shouldn't be a nurse.
Yeah! She now claims that she really thought she gave me a flu shot in 2008, which is BS because I've never seen her at work and we work over 100 miles away from each other. She has shown no remorse for her actions in my chart or in my mom's. I'm thinking I need to call the privacy department and let them know that I need my chart corrected and inquire on how it's possible for my now mother-in-law to have been in my chart when I first started dating her daughter. I have no desire to make up with her or try to work with her because I'm not going to waste any more time and energy on someone I have no desire having a relationship with. I don't have to see her until Thanksgiving, and we don't plan on staying in their house for the weekend. We decided we're going to book a hotel in the area instead. If anyone has advice, I will happily consider it. Don't hang out with this lady. And also, I have advice for you guys. You should listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Poke Storytime.
Hang out with the sound of our voices.
So true. There is a little bit left to this story, but Dakota, what do we do?
I'm calling the hospital yesterday now.
Yeah.
Honestly. But, again, because as impartial observers to the story, we can say that really easily. But in reality, OP is going to have a hard conversation with his partner because that's her mom. And
that's her mom.
Functionally, she did it to herself.
Yeah.
With her actions, but that's going to end up really destabilizing her career and her life, whatever you want to call it, right? So she's got to be ready to accept that her mom deserves these consequences.
Yeah.
So you got to have a conversation about it. I wouldn't do it behind her back, silently, secretly. It needs to be like, hey, I think your mom's breaking HIPAA violations for me, and I'm going to report her.
I already feel violated. Yeah. Say like, hey, that was completely inappropriate. And she's admitted to it. So,
yeah. And sure, this is us, but imagine what else she's capable of.
Yeah.
If she can just do this
to anyone,
you know, it's like that stuff is the code for a reason. Like,
but there is an update, or a little bit left at least. P.S. DW is seeing mother-in-law, dear wife, sorry, is seeing mother-in-law for who she is. Sister-in-law is torn, agrees that everything in my letter is true, but she also feels mother-in-law is trying to be helpful.
That's really misguided.
Even after controlling sister-in-law's bank account logons, hiding tax documents so she can't apply for a mortgage to buy a house.
Right.
She is so deep in the fog because mother-in-law had such a tight grip on her and buys her everything she needs. And that is the end of that story. Yeah.
Keeping them on the teat for life.
Tell your wife, you're like, yeah, I don't feel safe around this woman and she's violated a lot of my privacy, so this is what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, it's just like it's time for consequences. And also, if she's that scatterbrained, she doesn't know how to use a computer. She doesn't know how to use technology. She
Then
works
she
in
should
a
not be a nurse.
heavily, technology related field, being in the medical industry, like taking care of patients' charts and medical information. You can make a mistake there, and it can cause incredible damage.
Agreed.
So maybe it's time to retire. Have that conversation. Do good by yourself. Stand by.
Okey-dokey.
And it sounds like your wife is on the same page. So that's good. So that won't be a catastrophic meltdown.
My brother's girlfriend demands that we treat her kids like our own. I refuse.
Those aren't my kids.
I, 32 female, have 2 sons with my husband, a 10-month-old and a 3-year-old. I obviously love my kids, but I don't really like other kids, especially kids I don't know very well. I am just not the maternal type that will want to interact with other kids or find them cute or whatever. By the way, this comes from OK Jeweler 4132, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my brother has been dating his girlfriend, Natalie, 31 female, and she has 2 kids as well, 7 male and 5 female. When we first met Natalie, she seemed excited that I have kids and started planning how our kids will bond and play together. This did not happen, and the main reason is the age difference. Again, my kids are 3 years old and 10 months. I don't know how she imagined that her 7-year-old will bond so well with a baby or someone 4 years younger than him. Her 5-year-old daughter is a different situation. She is very rowdy, so my oldest avoids her at all costs whenever we meet during family functions or whatever. Despite our kids clearly not blending well, I would say that we were nice towards Natalie and her kids. Last Christmas, for example, the first Christmas since they got together, we gave gifts to her kids when we met at my parents' place for dinner, and I thought that was enough. However, Natalie decided to confront me on things I apparently did wrong and hurt her feelings. She mentioned, I did not show a special interest in her kids that will potentially become my niece and nephew in the future. I refused to have her kids over at my place for play dates without her being present. To be clear, I am okay with hosting her, my brother, and her kids for a dinner or something. I refuse to make my son like her daughter. I am cold towards her kids. I explained to her that I can't and will not force my kid to play or be friends with anyone. I also said that I am not comfortable having her kids in my house without her present. I do not know her kids that well. I have no idea how they behave outside of the few family settings that we have all attended, and I don't want to be responsible for 2 stranger kids in my house. On the coldness side, I explained to her that I am not cold on purpose, but this is how I am as a person. I'm not a kids fan, I am not overly maternal, and I simply don't feel like being overly excited over kids. She said that this is not true because she saw that I am everything I claim not to be with my kids. Well, yes, because they're my own children.
That's crazy. It's like, well, why don't you care for my children like you care for your children?
Yeah.
Well, maybe because they're literally my children.
Yeah. She also claims that everyone has been excluding her children. When I asked her how, she gave me the same examples from above and claimed that my parents are more affectionate towards my kids.
Oh my God.
Yes, because they are their grandchildren. This is their first Christmas together. They have not been together
like
for very
a
long.
year.
Yeah.
A year max.
Yeah, I think like once it is like official that you're in the family or like,
Yeah.
fully welcomed, you're like married or something like that, then yeah, they'd probably have a change in mind.
Sure.
But
sure.
for
Right
now, you are still getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So, in the end, we were not getting anywhere. So I told her, look, Natalie, you started dating my brother 1 year ago. Also, my parents and I had a couple of meetings with you and your kids, and everyone was nice to all of you. I don't know what your problem is, but you need to speak to my brother. No one is excluding your kids. You can't expect us to treat your kids the same as mine. This is never going to happen. My kids are my kids. They don't owe anything to yours, and you are not entitled to anything from us. Please solve this issue with my brother. My brother apologized for her and mentioned to me that she sounds like a mad woman, focused on the absurd differences that she sees when it comes to our kids. He agrees that our parents are not doing anything wrong and that I am not doing anything wrong. He knows me and he is aware that I am not doing anything on purpose. He said that Natalie has been crying after our discussion, and while he agrees with me, he asked if I can try being more empathetic towards her feelings. I told him that I am polite to her, but she seems manipulative, and if she doesn't want to hear the truth, she should not start this kind of discussion with me. My brother is lost. He does not know how to manage this madness, and I am honestly confused if I did anything wrong when speaking to her. And we do have an update, but do you think that she did anything wrong?
No, I think that this woman is like expecting so much, or just like a a lot of closeness in a very short time.
Yeah.
For example, if like you start dating someone and then they're like, I love you within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa,
Like, hey.
whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
Slow down.
that would be weird for the kids too, I feel, to be like,
Yeah.
hey, like, I love you so much. And then like the kids don't even know these adults.
They're very young kids. We shouldn't be forcing these young kids to have a relationship with kids who are older than them.
Yeah, I have received a lot of feedback on my original post, and for that, I am very grateful. I tried replying to as many of you as I can, but it is overwhelming and my DMs are full. But I have read your comments, and I really appreciate you spending some of your time to talk to me. I will clarify some points that keep being mentioned, and then I will get to the update. Many of you pointed out that Natalie is looking for an instant family.
Yup.
I was not used to this term, but yeah, after reading your comments and looking for more information, I agree that this seems to be the case. Many of you asked about her family and her kids' father and grandparents. I don't know much about them. My brother told us something along the lines of she has a complicated relationship with her family, and we did not insist for more details. We considered this to be her privacy and assumed that we would get more info when she's ready. There was a lot of confusion on why the children don't like each other. Natalie's 7-year-old son has no interest in the kids, not even for his sister, who is 5. My baby is 10 months old, so except for his food, laughing, and being entertained, he has no interests at the moment. My 3-year-old son doesn't like Natalie's daughter because, as I mentioned, she is rowdy and too much for him. She is not used to playing with the little kids, and so she broke one of his favorite toys and pushed him on 2 different occasions, making him land on his butt. This led to my son clinging to me, my husband, or my parents each time he's around her. The most overwhelming part of this post for me was receiving a lot of messages from people who told me how they were forced to play with kids that they didn't like and how this affected them. I'm really sorry for all of your experiences, but I guarantee you I will not do the same to my kids. I would rather have people calling me names than force my kids to do something that they are not comfortable with, only to feed my ego and make myself seem like a nice person. In case it was not clear, I am a mother first, and my main priority is to be an ally to my kids, not be a saint or seen as the most amazing woman alive. Many of you accused me of not making time to bond with Natalie and her kids even after her dating my brother for a year. To be clear, up until this point, I've only met her kids 4 times. I think people missed some details in regards to timing. Natalie started dating my brother last year around February. Last year, I was pregnant, I gave birth, and after that, I had to raise a newborn baby and a toddler. So yeah, sorry to disappoint some of you for not abandoning my kids at home to go meet my brother's latest girlfriend. I'm a very nasty person for raising my kids. Some of you seem to be very social people who are able to form bonds with new people in a matter of hours upon meeting them. I am not like this. For me, it takes time to grow a relationship, get used to someone, and be able to be comfortable. So in my books, the people who I've seen only 4 times in my entire life are still strangers. Lastly, I was accused of being a cruel person for not being willing to be Natalie's village. I'm sorry if she's in the position of needing a village instead of already having people willing to help her, but I have no obligation to be anyone's village. At this point in time, I am my family's village, meaning my husband, my kids, and my pets. I have enough excitement daily with my gremlins.
That's not a village. That's just a family unit.
Yeah, well,
If we're being technical, that's not a village. That's just my definition.
you're wrong, OP.
Sorry,
you need
OP.
more to be there for your family.
English major.
Yeah.
Well, just
I think we get it. I think she's just using
I know
that
what you're
term.
saying. But
Yeah.
I'm like, if we're
'Cause,
gonna
I mean-
say like, oh, it's because the thing is all about, takes a
Takes a
village.
village. Yeah.
That's not the definition of a village.
My family's my village. That's just your family.
That's
She
very
did
true.
not want a village. That's
well,
okay.
I think she's using it in
100%
a
accurate.
very
Yeah.
wrong way, and I think we've ignored it. 'Cause she's saying she is her family's village.
Yeah, you can't be your family's
Use
village.
different words, OP.
You can't be your family's village, okay?
That's okay, Sophia.
That's fine. You don't have to be your family's village. Anyway.
My oldest, although a calm and cute kid, is a pain in the butt that needs to be supervised all the time. If I don't supervise him all the time, he will sneak and eat the cat's food or insert his fingers into wire sockets.
Oh.
By the way, a genuine question for all the parents who have 3-year-old kids. Are all the kids so kamikaze, or is only mine this level of menace?
I think it's generally all kids.
They all
Probably.
do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't need 2 additional stranger kids in my home unsupervised by their parents. Sue me. Now to the update. After reading all your replies, I understood my brother is not being fair. He asks me to be understanding of Natalie's situation, but is he understanding of mine? I don't think so. So I sent him the following message. Hey, brother, I had some time to think about the entire situation and I want to share my thoughts with you. First of all, I did something that might make you mad and you might not agree with it, but please keep an open mind and read what I am about to send you. I made a post on Reddit and asked about my situation with Natalie, and the replies were mostly pointing in the same direction. Maybe you'll want to see some unbiased feedback from hundreds of people who don't know us and are able to have a clear perspective. Now, I feel like you are not fair towards me. I understand that you have a relationship with Natalie and she is your life partner, but it seems very selfish of you to put the burden on me. I understand Natalie may have some issues with her family. She may desperately need to feel accepted and to have a big family for her and her children, but her struggles were not caused by me. You asked me to be understanding towards her, but were you understanding towards me? Did you defend your nephew when he was pushed twice by Natalie's daughter? Did you even explain to Natalie that she is expecting too much from your sister who is dealing with a baby and a toddler? Did you defend your parents when Natalie commented about them? I'm so sorry it got to this point, but I will be honest. My main priority will always be my family, not Natalie, not her kids. I am not a therapist, I am not an emotional support animal, and I am not the old 1-2ing bag for times when things don't go her way. I love you, I am happy if you are happy, but I need some space from the toxicity that she brings. You have known me since I was a baby, you know how I am, so please set the record straight with her and explain that I will never be what she wants when she wants. And I'm gonna set the record straight right now. We have full episodes with more stories just like this one. You know where you can find them? Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. You just got to search OK Storytime. Okay, got it?
It's true.
Go on over.
You heard it here first.
Yep, there we go. But there is a little bit more to this story.
Yeah.
I would love to know your thoughts on all of this.
My guy. Yeah, no, I think that was very reasonable. I mean, I'm always an advocate for in-person.
Yeah.
Or at least, phone communication. I think
Right.
that text things can be misread or misinterpreted.
Sure.
Sorry. But I think
Mhm.
nothing you said in the text was wrong. I
Yeah.
think it was all very valid. And yeah, I think what's your brother's girlfriend expecting way too much from you?
Well, there is a little bit more to the story. After around an hour, he replied, "Oh crap. Give me some time to read everything and gather my thoughts. I will come over at your place. Just give me some days, please. Love you." Now the ball is in his court. You were right. Natalie is his girlfriend, so it's his problem. Let's see how things turn out after he comes to talk, but I am keeping my expectations low, and that is the end of that story.
Yeah.
I refused to pay my cat sitter because she did a horrible job.
Well, how much were you paying her per hour?
I, 29 female, have an 11-year-old calico named Daisy. A year ago, I moved a few hours further from home for work, which came with the issue of needing to find a new sitter. By the way, this comes from CatMom51525, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my fiance, 34 male, and I were lucky to find somebody pretty quickly through a pet sitting app, but she ended up being unavailable during the week of our trip. This came up over dinner at my sister's house, and her daughter and my niece suggested her cousin, brother-in-law's family, Ava, 18 female, saying that she's been looking for some side jobs to make money before she goes off to college this fall. I contacted Ava and she accepted the job. I invited Ava over a couple of days early so that she could meet Daisy and get acquainted with this space. The most important detail here is that I emphasized our main rule, to not let Daisy out unleashed and unsupervised. I showed Ava the harness and leash I used to take Daisy on walks, explained the risks of letting her out unsupervised, and she seemed to understand. Fiancé and I left on our trip a couple of days later thinking all was well. We finally got back yesterday after a genuinely lovely week and met Ava as she was finishing up with her last drop-in. During our reunion, I found scratches on Daisy. I asked Ava if she had any idea of what happened. At first, Ava's story was that she didn't know, and then she admitted that it might have happened when they went on a walk. I went to find the harness to see if there was any damage to it, but it was in the exact same spot that I left it in, along with the leash. I asked Ava point blank if she let Daisy out by herself, and she finally admitted yes.
Don't do that, guys. Don't let your cats out by themselves. They ruin the local ecology.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking, the cat could like run away or get hit by a car.
That, but also they are like a menace to the local wildlife.
Interesting.
It's a pretty big problem. The bird population
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Ava said that Daisy wouldn't stop hounding her for food and treats, and that she was yowling so much during a drop-in when she was having a headache that she put her out for a little while she set up the food and cleaned the litter. She then forgot Daisy outside all night.
Oh my gosh.
Which honestly that's probably the most fun that Daisy's had in a long time.
Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, she got
probably.
into a tussle.
But
She got into a freaking tussle, man.
yeah, oh my
Wow,
gosh, it's like a miracle that she is still here,
Dude,
and came back.
I would not give this lady money. I would not
Absolutely
give her
not.
money.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I wouldn't
totally
either.
would not.
I would not either. I think neglecting my pet disqualifies you from payment.
I feel
Although
like yes.
I do believe in that cats and all animals have a more fulfilled life outside.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, but forgetting them is like,
Right.
yeah, living outside is
Live.
different from just enjoying the
Yeah.
outdoors for
Yeah.
sure. But
Like, I enjoy the outdoors.
could you survive in the outdoors?
No. I'm
But
domesticated.
yeah, I do agree. She said that she realized when she dropped back in the next morning for a feeding and a walk, and Daisy wasn't waiting just inside the door, that she remembered that she put her out. So she tried shaking a bag of Daisy's favorite cat treats, which worked. She's a greedy little cat. I was furious at that point and asked Ava to leave. She asked, what about the money? And I told her that she wouldn't be getting paid. She got upset and said that it wasn't fair to not pay her for an entire week over one mistake, but eventually she left. She has texted me an apology since, but I've also received texts from my brother-in-law, who is mostly taking her side in the issue and saying that I should absolutely pay her, but that he would understand if I docked a day off. I told him that I'll be putting my money towards a vet visit, which I have an appointment for tomorrow. And to clarify a few things, Ava is not a family member of mine. She is my brother-in-law's niece, technically step-niece, as his sister is Ava's stepmother. I do not consider her a niece or cousin of mine. Family is not a factor here for me. I didn't know her at all and admit that I should have been more cautious about hiring her. Brother-in-law said that she was a very good and responsible kid, and she had done some pet sitting jobs before, so I thought everything would be fine. Wouldn't be making that mistake again. To those suggesting that I still pay Ava but dock the vet bills from her pay, if I do that, it will result in her owing me. I do not want to pursue legal action or try to get any money out of Ava. I have told her and the brother-in-law this and expressed more than once that the best I will do is compromise and consider us square. I don't pay her. She doesn't pay any of Daisy's vet bills. Honestly, so fair. I think that's so fair because it is one thing, like when she was saying like, you know, maybe you don't get paid for all this, I was thinking like, well, maybe like you pay for like one day out of the whole week or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. But the fact that I forgot about the scratches.
The scratches.
The
like,
scratches.
She's going to the vet.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
expensive.
Totally
That's
expensive.
Freaking overpriced.
Yeah. So I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
I know results for certain things won't be available or reliable so soon. I will be doing follow-up appointments for further testing and assessments. Some relevant comments. Scarlett, not that one. Info. Is the vet visit due to harm incurred from the unleashed walk? If so, then not the a-hole for not paying. Normally, she would deserve to get paid for most or all of what she worked. But if she intentionally disregarded your clear instructions and that caused damage, then it's fair for the cost of damage to be deducted from the pay. OP responds, the vet visit is for the scratches that I found on her. Yes. I want to make sure that they aren't infected and that she didn't contract anything. I'm honestly not sure how Ava didn't notice them or if she just thought that she could get away with it. They had dried blood stuck to them and they were 2 to 3 inches in length. Yikes, man. I've since cleaned the wound a bit with some water and a towel, and I gave her a true tube. I wanted to take her to the vet immediately, but we got home quite late, so it had already closed. And when I called first thing this morning to ask about coming in, they said that they had several appointments and that somebody had called out sick, but they would squeeze me in tomorrow. Gem Zanity says, not the a-hole at all. She's lucky your cat didn't get lost or worse.
Yeah.
I'm currently dog sitting to help my friend out. As I'm not usually around dogs, he's given me a comprehensive list of do's and don'ts. You bet I'm following that list to the letter because he knows his dog better than I do.
No, every time I've ever pet sit, people give me like a whole spreadsheet or not spreadsheet, but, you know, like a whole
Like a list.
list of things that I do, and then you go down the list and you literally do everything that they say.
Everything. That's part of the job.
Yeah.
That's part of the job. Yeah.
People's pets are important to them.
Yeah, I cat sit for my aunt like all the time, and there was one time where like I was going into the backyard and one of them like accidentally got out, and I was terrified, but luckily I was able to. It like ran out and then paused, and so I just snuck up behind it and picked it up.
Nice.
I was terrified
Yeah.
though because of this.
That's
It's so
scary.
dangerous to let like cats that don't go out often. I mean, this one seems to, but on a leash.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous to let them out because You don't know if
Don't
they're
know
going to
what
come
they'll
back.
get up to.
Yeah. Although we're getting on quite well. She even took me for a walk earlier. OP responds, I'm honestly so glad that nothing worse happened. We live close to a busy road and I've seen other strays in the area. I'm a little worried if she was attacked by a stray cat, which is what it looks like, that she could have contracted something. Northern Lit Up says, not the a-hole. Tell her that you'll pay her whatever is left of her fee after the vet visit, provided that your cat doesn't need anything due to her injuries. Daisy very easily could have been affected by FIV from a feral cat. That's the part that would terrify me. Quite frankly, she'd be lucky if you didn't sue her for the vet care if Daisy did contract a disease. OP says FIV is one of the big concerns right now. I've seen strays in the area here. We do have an update, but yeah, someone in the chat said that Ava is 18. I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Don't tell Ronald Reagan about FIV. He won't do anything.
Yep.
He's like,
just
the
gonna put
cats.
that out there.
What does we're gonna have a gay cat wedding.
Gay cat wedding.
Uh,
Keep that away from the gay rat wedding,
and Ronald
please.
Reagan.
They're
We're gonna have
danger.
Chewbacca officiate
Danger.
space lasers. Ronald Reagan.
What?
What?
didn't
Those
get
were
your
his
joke.
thoughts
What?
when he got towards the
Chewbacca's
end of his.
thoughts?
Yeah, he was like, after he saw Star Wars, Ronald Reagan actually wanted to develop a space laser defense system to
Word.
protect us from like missile threats.
Word.
And everyone was like, okay, Mr. Reagan, go back to your tapioca. Like,
Oh, man.
Listen, you can get ideas from all over the place. You'll never
Anywho.
know when inspiration strikes.
Yeah.
But there is an update coming right up. I have been incredibly busy with handling my job. Apparently, 3 people were fired in my absence and caring for Daisy since making my original post, but I've read many of the comments and understand that many people have questions and want an update. So I'm taking my first real free moment since coming back from my vacation to fill you all in on what's been happening. I took Daisy to the vet the day after making my original post due to the scratches I found on her. Like I mentioned in the comments, they were 2 to 3 inches in length and had dried blood on them. The vet's opinion was that they were decently deep and likely infected, which was later confirmed, and Daisy was prescribed meds to deal with that. She's much better now, and she seems to be back to near perfect health, but there will be subsequent visits to determine if she has any other issues, such as FIV, which can't be accurately tested for so soon. My vet was kind enough to give me a quote for the future visits I've scheduled, which I presented along with a bill from this visit to Ava and her parents, who ended up getting involved as well, but were much less aggressive than Ava or the brother-in-law. The current bill by itself exceeds what we had agreed to pay Ava. Ava tried to push back more, which I ignored, and then her parents reached out to me. The 4 of us, me, Ava, her mom, and her dad, met up, and Ava's parents immediately brought up small claims court and asked that I please not drag them and their daughter through the system over a vet bill. Just to be clear, I never threatened to do so. The only time court came up was when brother-in-law brought it up to me, and I'm assuming Ava as well, and I insisted that I didn't want to make this a legal matter. I told Ava's parents the same, that I was not seeking legal action and was happy to consider us square. And I am happy to tell you that we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever your favorite podcast app is, with more full episodes of stories just like this one. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
Be
Search
there,
it
be
up.
square.
That's what I always say.
That's right. There is a little bit more to the story, but what are your final thoughts to wrap
I feel
this
like
up?
everything's kind of working out right.
Totally working out.
Yeah, I think you're just getting, don't give her that money.
Yep.
Get your cat all fixed up.
Yeah.
And find a better person to cat sit your cat.
Totally. I know OP was mentioning like the brother-in-law brought up small claims court. I wonder if he brought it up in the way of like, if you don't pay Ava, we're gonna take you to court.
I think you kind of.
And she's like, okay, go ahead, bet. Like, go ahead. This is all the stuff that you cost me from this stupid mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a ridiculous thing.
Ridiculous.
Forgot her outside.
Yeah. And then it's trying to like say, I need money. You
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Because that makes you wonder like how much she was paying attention to the cat anyway.
I doubt at all.
Yeah. Got a little bit more to the story before
Sorry.
we wrap it up. The only other thing I wanted was for Ava to apologize for endangering Daisy. She didn't seem happy, but she said sorry, and that was that. I'm glad my cat is safe and healthy, and I'm glad the drama is over. Safe to say I won't be planning any more trips away until my regular sitter is available again.
Yeah.
There are a few other questions I noticed in the comments that I'd like to answer. They will be in a comment I post below. Thank you to everyone for your feedback and your support. More relevant comments. OP provides more info on her own comment. I got busy with dinner, but here are those questions and answers I mentioned. Thank you all again. To the question, why wasn't your usual cat sitter available? Did she not like Daisy? Did she cancel? I think we covered that before. Lana, our usual sitter, is currently dealing with a personal loss. She let us know about it when we reached out, and that she would not be available for a few months as she got her affairs in order and traveled to attend the funeral. She loves Daisy and has told us many times that she enjoys caring for her. She even crocheted Daisy a Santa hat for Christmas, and we took photos of her in it for Christmas cards. That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. Another question, is Daisy poorly trained or very loud, very needy, and a nuisance? Yeah.
She's a cat.
Very
Is she
loud.
poorly trained? She's a cat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you implying you can't train a cat?
No, but I'm implying that they don't like to be trained.
They like to rebel.
Yeah.
Another question was, does she wait by the door or try to run outside? And the answer from OP is no. On occasion, if she isn't preoccupied, she may follow me to the door to say goodbye, or if she's expecting a walk, we go out during a specific time of day. But she doesn't wait by the door when we're going in or out trying to run for it, and we've never had an issue with her trying to slip out. She knows that she's an indoor kitty. I have also never had a sitter tell me that they've had an issue with Daisy around feeding times. Sometimes she will meow quietly as I'm preparing her bowl or getting treats, but she is not loud and obnoxious. Another question is, why don't you want Daisy going outside? OP's answer is, I do want her to go outside, but only when she is leashed and supervised for the safety of her and the environment around us. Outdoor cats are more likely to be unalived by predators, harmed or infected by other animals, or hit by cars. They pose a major threat to local bird
Heck
populations.
yeah. Love
That is
this,
true.
OP. You're awesome.
Yeah.
You know a lot of stuff, and I like that.
Yeah, very, very true. They could wander into a neighbor's yard and eat toxic plants. The list goes on and on. I love Daisy very much. I care about her health and safety, so she is an indoor cat, but I also want her to be able to safely experience the outdoors. Leashed walks are the only solution at the moment until fiancé and I can get a catio built. Okay, another question is Daisy spayed? Are her shots up to date? Yes and yes, but even with up-to-date shots, she can still potentially contract something. Oh, and that is the end of that story.